What's going on, everyone? Welcome into another Forward Progress live watch along right here on Forward Progress, part of the Hammer Betting Network, and presented by FanDuel. We got an 8 p.m. Eastern time kick. Detroit, Washington might get pushed back a little bit, but regardless, let's get right into this stuff as soon as we can here. I will talk a lot about Chiefs Texans and give my thoughts over the course of the night. We do have 4 great guests tonight as well. And we will certainly cover that game because Twitter absolutely blew up during that game. And I certainly have some commentary in regards to that. KC got a lot of favorable calls. But going to pump the brakes on the NFL is fixed talk. Anyways, let's get into props for tonight. So just really quickly before we do, if you watch Pizza Buffet this morning, I did lean towards Washington. This number has been steamed towards Washington in the last hour or so. We saw 7.5s at a bunch of sharp sports books. Got bet back to 8 at a couple. FanDuel still hanging an 8.5 right now, and that's one of the better numbers in market. There's not too many 8.5s out there. If you want to bet Washington, go to FanDuel at this point. Total being bet down just a smidge at post here. Some books going to 55, but no strong opinion at the current market number. I will go over props. As a reminder, the props are very dependent on the number that you get the prop at. So I'm not going to give out stuff that was given out on Thursday, maybe even this morning that moved. This is, if you didn't get anything, you bet it right now type of situation. Let's start on the Detroit side. Passing side of things. I think there's this belief that Detroit is going to be extremely run heavy tonight because of the fact that Washington's run defense has struggled. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think Detroit's going to get aggressive. This is a home game for them. I want to go to the completions market, and I want to play Jared Goff over on completions. This is going to be a half unit, 23.5. Pretty consistent across market in terms of numbers that are available right now. Obviously, you always want to shop the best number possible, but 23.5 for Goff in terms of completions, minus 108 at FanDuel. It's pretty good big. You could find some 22.5s out there, but you're going to have to pay a more expensive price. So Jared Goff over on completions. That is a half unit. Next, on the Lions side, I talked this morning. I saw Hitman release Montgomery overs earlier. That's kind of out of range in the market now. I'm going to go with Gibbs unders. I think that the workload split is going to be closer to 50-50 than the market suggests. Now, there is an 86.5 out there at plus 100. If you want to bet that, if you don't have access, 82.5 minus 110 is fine. You just stake accordingly. At this price, I'm going to go 3/4 units. So that's $75 on Jahmyr Gibbs under. It pains me to do that. I love Gibbs. I don't really want to root for him not to pick up yards, but this is kind of how I see the split playing out going forwards. I think Montgomery was a little undervalued. Gibbs a little bit overvalued. The one person I talked about this morning that I love the matchup for is Amon-Ra St. Brown. His receptions number is pretty high at 6.5. I still think that he is a very viable option at 6.5 to the over here. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Really like that. Going to go $75 on that one as well. So that's another 3/4 unit play. Over, Jason. Amon-Ra St. Brown over 6.5. Receptions. That's on the Lions side. I do see some questions. Would rather have Gibbs over on his longest rush, I guess, relative to over on rushing yards? I mean, they're very interconnected, but I kind of understand there. What about first quarter over 10.5 for Monty? I'm speculating more so than anything here. I guess you could kind of ride with that. I don't have a strong opinion one way or another. I don't hate the look. Let's put it that way. Usually when I don't hate the look, I'm okay with it, but challenging. Okay. On the other side of things, for the Commanders, these are going to be small bets because I actually don't mind the matchups for these guys. I can't believe I'm doing this at this point. Now, this one I will say shop around. Let me just really quickly check. Everyone is on board the De'Ami Brown trade tonight, and I get it. He's probably avoiding Brian Branch a lot of times. we're now seeing some receptions under on De'Ami Brown in market that are like 2.5 plus 150 plus 145. Not the greatest one here to play at FanDuel, so I wouldn't even suggest it. But if you have access to 145 or higher, you got to kind of fire a low unit on that. So we're not going to lock that in at this price, but that's for others out there. What I will lock in is Austin Eckler under rushing plus receiving yards. And listen, this is a wide open matchup. It's on turf. It's scary. We're going to actually play a smaller amount on this and a half unit as well. But there's been an adjustment up on Eckler. It wasn't a great matchup for Brian Robinson on the ground last week. Eckler got a lot of work. I don't mind Eckler overall, but now when I'm seeing him priced where he's at right now, I think it's getting to be a little bit too high. So that's going to be my Washington side of things. So to recap really quickly, and then I do want to give a quick SGP angle. Goff over completions, Gibbs under rush yards, Amon-Ra over receptions, Eckler under pass plus, rush plus receiving. Those are the looks I'm going to go with for the game tonight. Might find some stuff in real time as well. SGP angle. Okay, so you guys know by now, we take some shots with SGPs. Do this quite often. Sometimes we're just getting the story to work, okay? Not everyone has to tail this. This is just an angle that I've played tonight that has two legs that I've locked in, and then I've started to key in third leg options. So the first leg, I like chaos. Washington Commanders -2.5. Some people think the Lions are going to win in a blowout. That's fine. You're entitled to your opinion. You don't have to bet it. I think the number in the game is fine, but I want to be on the fat tail outcome where Washington possibly wins rather than the fat tail outcome where Detroit wins by 28 or something along those lines. So Washington -2.5 is going to be our first leg. And then we are going to pair that with an alternate passing yards, Jared Goff, 350 plus. Some might think that's counterintuitive. I've talked about this before. But the losing quarterback, especially in a good passing offense, tends to accumulate a lot of passing yards. You're kind of looking for a game like Detroit, Tampa Bay earlier this year. That was back in week 2. But that's the type of game you're looking at where Detroit does move the ball successfully, but they bog down in the red zone. They turn the ball over. The fourth downs don't go their way. Goff still puts up big numbers. So this is the two legs that you key in on. And then we can start adding third options that kind of fit this narrative. So one that I like is Jaden Daniels alt rushing overs, looking at something like 70 plus, 80 plus. I think that's going to be very fundamental to Washington's success to have Jaden Daniels be successful on the ground. So if we lock in 70 plus here, Jason, just as an example, we get that parlay up to 34-1. That's one option. Maybe pair a Lions receiver in alternate pass yards. Jamison Williams, 100 plus. Makes sense with this type of combination as well, because it's somewhat correlated to the Jared Goff side of things. That you're looking at a big payout. You can take Daniels out 50-1. So there's lots of options here. I like to just lay the framework. And I've bet these myself as well. But in your head, the wheel starts spinning. You could throw some stuff together, put a very small amount of money down on it. This is not something that you need to go insane on by any stretch of the imagination. But that's where we're at. If you see the parlay numbers adjust in real time, that's adjusting based off of the line in the game. And that tends to happen in real time as well. So that's going to be it for the start of today's game. We'll find some stuff in game. We do have 4 guests as well. Before this game gets underway, which we're now going to have 14 minutes to kick off, so I'm going to give lots of thoughts on the Chiefs and Texans. But a reminder, for this divisional round of the playoffs, there's no better place to bet on the games than FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. I'm a big fan of FanDuel as a product. They have lots of great options available. Pre-game, in-game, really easy to use and navigate. You see it on the screen throughout the show. It's pretty simple to get down at FanDuel. Right now, all customers can pump up their gridiron winnings with different promos, like a no-sweat SGP and a live profit boost token on this weekend's games. If you're tailing me, you can use a no-sweat SGP. If you tail our bets in real time, you can use a live profit boost token. It's a nice, easy way to turn maybe an average wager into a plus EV wager. FanDuel has tons of ways you can get in on the NFL action. You can bet money line spreads, player props, and more. Plus, with super simple live betting, lightning fast bet settlement, and instant withdrawals, FanDuel makes betting on the NFL easier than ever before. Just visit FanDuel.com/forwardprogress to download FanDuel today. You must be 21 plus and present in select states or 18 plus and present in DC. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including token expiration. See terms for offers at sportsbook.fanduel.com. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. Good to see everyone in the chat here tonight. Dictator Jay, Scott, Connor, The Sauce, Drunken Goon, Mitch. Hope it's a great live stream. Hope we get an entertaining game tonight as well. I do want to look at the touchdown market because it does change over the course of the day here. So quickly going to just pull up my odds screen. I'm using BetStamp Pro right now. If you want to check that out, you can message BetStamp, DM them on Twitter, and you could potentially get a demo of the product. But taking a look at the touchdown market for this game, I do have a few things that I've already played here. But again, I want to make this more forward-looking. So just in case you missed content from earlier, you don't have anything going on. So De'Ami Brown got bet down a little bit to 340. Okay, first and foremost, the players with the best price in market are Olamide Zaccheaus, which is 380. Brian Robinson plus 175. And looks like Tim Patrick plus 430. Best price in market. Jason's highlighting Khalif Raymond at 8-1. I don't hate it, but I also don't love it. Kind of like to get a little bit better of a price there. I don't like taking guys at the top of the board. Laporta seems interesting. Honestly, I don't think there's much to do here. Anytime touchdown. Let me take a quick look at first touchdown, just see if it's there's anything else that possibly stands out in this market. Highly doubt it. It's probably going to be chalk like Jahmyr Gibbs at 50-1. I don't know. I don't got much. I tried, people. Zaccheaus is live. He is the most live and has the best price in market. Problem is, I think he's going to be facing Brian Branch a lot, one-on-one in these games, which hurts them a bit. But I do think Zaccheaus at 380 is the best bet available to us right now. And you know what? I'll throw down just a little bit on it because I don't like to give out bets that I don't bet myself. So really quickly, going light on Zaccheaus, but he's going to get put in. Someone mentioned Brock Wright. All right, it's all dependent on number. There's just so many weapons for Detroit. And getting Brock Wright, I mean, 12-1 is best price in market at FanDuel. I can't fault you for that. I would need something like, honestly, 18-1, 20-1 to bet Brock Wright touchdown in this game. The Lions will do a bunch of, as the commentators like to say, trickeration. There'll be some trickeration happening with the Lions tonight. They do run a very modern offense that gets a lot of players involved. So I like the thinking. I just don't love the price. Brad says he's wearing his hat from the 0-16 season, praying Daniels doesn't bury us. You know, Detroit is a franchise that I could personally root for, I could see myself rooting for the Lions just as a neutral. Like, my team's the Cowboys. I'm not saying I'm dropping the Cowboys for the Lions, but Joey Knish likes the Lions, and he's like that one guy that will be unbearable if their team wins anything. It was bad enough with Michigan. Lions will be a whole nother level. Whole nother level. Penei Sewell, anytime touchdown. I see a few chats about that. They're saving that touchdown for the Super Bowl for GRP. That'll be a big one for him. I can't remember what odds he got, but I thought they missed a 0, honestly, when he posted it. We're going to be joined by 4 guests tonight. Ian McMillan is joining us in the first quarter. If you're not aware, Ian McMillan has been on the program several times. I think it's fair to call him a Chiefs hater at this point, so it'll be a little bit interesting, but he does not like the Chiefs. He believes the Chiefs are being treated unfairly relative to the rest of the teams in the NFL. So going to have him in the first quarter. That'll be interesting. Second quarter, the whale capper, Drew Dinsick, is on with us tonight. Third quarter, Clive Bixby, usually with me on Sunday, but he's joining for third quarter here on Saturday. Fourth quarter, Barry Horse. Hopefully we got a game where Barry Horse is on. Otherwise, I got to ask him what the hell's going on with Trump Coin. Seems like playing in a bowling event last night might have been the biggest minus EV move of my entire life. Generational wealth opportunity out the door. Tough break. Sold 20 Bitcoin to renovate a basement for a house I don't even own anymore. Probably missed out on a significant amount of money to play in a friendly bowling tournament. Okay. So I want to give just some very brief thoughts on the Chiefs-Texans game. Undoubtedly, a lot of calls went to Chiefs' favor. I don't think you can deny that. I do think that people are completely irrational when it comes to it. The first roughing the passer on Mahomes, in real time, the first time they showed the replay, did look like it could have been a blow to the head. Either way, I can see why a ref might have thrown the flag from behind the play. Don't really have a great angle if you see which the head referee threw the flag. From his perspective, it very much looks like it. It sucks that they can't review those. Like they had to stick with the call on the field because contact was made, but you can see why it happens. The one where Mahomes went to the ground, he slides late, 100%. But he also does get hit in the head. As much as they talked about that Texans receivers hitting each other, I mean, there's a still image that's going around right now. The first contact made was a Texans player hitting Mahomes in the head. So I don't like seeing quarterbacks rewarded for the late slide, but it's happening now. And again, it's a play in real time where I can see why it happened. It's bad officiating. Don't get me wrong. But I can see why it happened. There's a lot of stuff that's been, I think, perpetuated with regards to the Chiefs getting all the calls. That's untrue. But you watch a game like that, it makes it really challenging to defend it. But Mahomes does this stuff. The late slide, late going out of bounds. To me, I watch the game, especially as a bettor, I view that stuff as a plus. He has an uncanny ability, similar to how Brady did, to get this done. The things that bother me the most are, one, the people are like, well, it's fixed. I mean, you keep betting on it. If you actually believe that the outcomes of the games were fixed, why would you be paying minus 110 to bet this stuff? Like, if you believed it was fixed and you had no idea who it was fixed for, it's just, then why, like, I don't know. What are you doing? Doesn't make any sense to me. Second of all, we can bet this stuff. If you think if you think the Chiefs get all the calls every week, well, I can tell you the market doesn't account for the Chiefs that are going to get all the calls. So this is a viable betting angle. I don't get the people who bet against the Chiefs regularly and then just complain that they get all the calls. Like, if you know that's going to happen and that's your prerogative, the Chiefs always get all the calls, why you bet against them? Doesn't make any sense. If you knew going into a game that one team is going to get all the calls and you're going to bet against that team, you are an insane person. So that's where the duality gets me a little bit. It's just, it's like a hypocrisy in a sense, right? Chiefs got lucky that game. They got a lot of calls. They also blocked a field goal at the end of the game. They blocked a field goal. I mean, was that the refs that made them block? Like, they made plays in the game, ultimately. Mahomes threw a ball into the end zone to Kelsey while he's going to the ground. Like, at some point, teams got to make plays as well. Houston O-line couldn't hold up. Wasn't going to hold up for the remainder of the game. I'm just being a realist here. I don't like the Chiefs. I lived through the Brady era of the Patriots. It was horrible for me as a fan, as just a regular fan. It sucks going into the year like, it's inevitable that this is going to happen again. I get that. People hate the Chiefs now. Maybe even more so than the Brady era. It's pretty much on par or close. But what are you going to do? It's a good football team. They find ways to win games. There we go. Was Patrick Mahomes the Chiefs quarterback? Purely correlated with whether or not the Chiefs reach. They just find a way to get it done. That's all I can really say about that. But we will talk about it a lot more. We will talk about it a lot more. Very close to getting to kickoff here, as the kickoff was pushed back just slightly for this game. Commanders and Lions. I'd love to see the Commanders get the ball first and just go down the field and score. Just that way we can at least have some like viable entertainment throughout. Wire to wire Detroit win tonight. It ain't going to be my jam. It ain't going to be my jam. Much like the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes are not Ian McMillan's jam. Ian? Sorry.
I was listening beforehand. You went on a little bit of a rant before I could even come on and defend the Chiefs haters position that I think I am kind of the lead of.
I'm going to give you the platform to do that. I by the way, I get that point of view. Right. I was that guy with the Brady Patriots. So
this is just the Patriots all over again.
It really is. But I got to a point, even with the Chiefs, like the way I think of them now, I got to a point with the Patriots where I'm like, I got to stop doing this to myself. Yeah, like I'm torturing myself. Like, yeah. It's something every year. They deflated the footballs. They did, whatever. But they found a way. They spied on the other team. At the end of the day, Mass says it. Sometimes I'm just at the point, embrace greatness. Some people might argue it's not greatness. That's where I'm at. But Ian, you're in a different boat.
Yeah, I'm in a different boat. I need to stand up for the good guys. I got to stand up for the common man. And if I need to lead the charge of being anti-Chiefs and I have to die on that hill, then that's a hill that I'm going to die on. Now, do I wish I was, as rational as you, Rob, and could just be like, screw it, this is going to happen, so I'm just going to jump on? I can't do it. I can't do it. I won't do it. This is the Patriots all over again. And it's the same thing. You have to admit. Now, let me back up. I want to say a couple things, Rob. Number one, I don't think the NFL is fixed. I want to make that very clear, because a lot of people who are saying the same things as me are also saying the NFL is fixed. I'm not saying that. Also, I have actually bet on the Chiefs quite a bit. Did not bet on them today. Bet Texans money line. Okay. I had to, because I guaranteed a month ago that the Chiefs were going to lose in their first playoff game. So I had to stand by that, and I had to bet against.
You know what? You're a man of honor. No one can take that away from you.
And right. That's all I'm trying to say. It's tiring, Rob, because it's week in, week out, season after season. It's one thing this time. It's one thing the next time. It's penalties that should have been called that aren't called. Penalties that shouldn't be called are called. And it's, if it would happen once in a while, then I wouldn't get so upset about it and so worked up. But it's every single week. It's every single season. When was the last time a Chiefs played in a game where the refs weren't Like refs were on the other, like the calls kind of and the bounces went the other team's way.
Yeah.
Not even just refs, even just like bounces. Like the Chiefs had a game-winning field goal a few weeks ago. Who was it against? The game-winning field goal, and it was a doinking in. How many doinking ins have we seen this season?
Yeah. They blocked the Broncos game-winning field goal as well.
Raiders guy dropped it. Aiden McDonald dropped it.
I got to tell you right now, the opening kickoff for the Commanders was just booted out of bounds. Like the one thing
so far ahead
you should probably not do, Zane Gonzalez, is booted out of bounds.
Yeah.
You'll get the replays in real time, though. Don't worry. Ian, you'll get to see. It's
coming
up.
It's just.
Well, listen, I get the frustration. You could tell, honestly, that even Buck and Aikman were frustrated.
Right.
Throughout the game.
And I don't think anything I say is wrong. I like to think I'm just stating facts.
I think the facts are very clearly that the Chiefs lucked out on the officiating side today.
I just saw the kick. Officiating was on the Chiefs side, yes.
Yeah, I don't think anyone can deny that.
Right. Well,
I know.
Some people are in my replies, but...
Well, listen, there's some things that I think were a little bit overblown. Like the offside on the kick. Mm-hmm. There's like a freeze frame that's out there now that looks like he's still in the not, in the neutral zone just yet on that. So, but overall, there was at least 2 or 3 times in the game where I was like, hand on head, like what the hell is going on?
Right.
This is getting ridiculous now, even as someone who's, defending it. But anyways, I'm going to sync up with the audience here. We're going to have a 3rd and 13 for Detroit coming up.
Your stream. Maybe I'm on a bad stream here. I just saw the first down carry.
Play clock is at 14, 13, 12, and then we got our snap. I'll try to sync up for a little bit longer later on as I'll wait for you to see it. I'll wait for you to see it. I got some commies money line looks going right now.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And some SGP stuff, but not, just for a little bit of a rooting interest.
So I just saw the tackle from behind the line of scrimmage on 2nd down. I switched streams, the same thing. So it's fine. You'll just have to keep me updated.
Yep. In the 51st state, we seem to get a little bit quicker.
Well, I'm not watching on TV. I watch everything like not on cable. It's all streaming. So I think that's why I'm so far behind.
Yeah.
Can I say one more thing about the Chiefs?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is there a big play that we need to
No. It's you can go ahead and watch in real time.
I just want to say I want to explain why I'm so anti-Chiefs. Because I think a lot of people are confused. A lot of people just say, like, you're just being a crybaby, you're salty, just root for greatness. Number one, I'm jealous. Yep. I just wish this was the Falcons. Like, I would be the most arrogant person of all time. Like, I'd have no problem with that. So I'm jealous. None of my teams ever won a championship. Chiefs win championships every single year. Number two, when I watch sports, I want like new stories. Like, I want to feel good for a fan base that hasn't won in a while. I want to see players that are like finally win the Super Bowl. To me, like seeing a same team win the championship over and over does nothing for me. Like, there's no extra, there's no happy. Like, okay,
I agree.
Won a 4th Super Bowl in your career. Like, I'm not going to feel happy for you for that. Chiefs fans, why would I feel happy for Chiefs fan base? They won a ton of championships. I want to feel good for a different fan base or a different team. I
love that perspective. The only way that it gets me through, Ian, is just betting the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
because
which I should have done.
And if you don't have that ticket, it's nearly impossible to.
And I told myself all off season, I said this season I'm just going to bet big on the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl before the season started. I never did. So
it's Patriots all over again, man. It's just like I'm reliving that era. I got to start doing that. I will be betting the Chiefs next week. I assume they're going to be small underdogs. Do you think? I saw the look ahead.
Look ahead at them 1.5 point favorite, but I think if it opens out, it's going to shift. No,
it depends on where. I will say, like, the sharper look aheads, I think had Baltimore as a small favorite at KC. Okay. I cannot see that being the price, honestly, unless Baltimore blows out. Oh, we have it up on FanDuel right now. Baltimore -1.5 at KC. Chiefs would be -1.5 home to the Bills. I am very, very likely betting the Chiefs at either of those numbers.
Yeah, same. And it'll be a big bet because I think this is my last Hail Mary to get the Chiefs to lose is to bet big on them. It's the last tool. I brought out all the tools I had in the toolbox to get them to lose these playoffs. My last one is to bet on them. It's the only thing I got left.
That's a big loss. So Amik Robertson is down for the Lions. He's one of their starting corners, opposite Terry and Arnold. And obviously Carlton Davis is on IR. I didn't see whether or not Ennis Rakestraw was active tonight, but that is a bad injury to get for Detroit in the early going. Yeah.
Lions have had some horrific injury luck this season.
They've been getting through it. I got to say, Jason really pulled the plug there on your camera really quickly.
It's not the first time, but that's okay.
Didn't like you saying that the Lions have had bad injury luck. No, it's honestly, I think that's why Dan Campbell's my coach of the year, regardless of the fact that like people expected the Lions to be good. They survived an insane amount of injuries. Yeah. Like when you look at teams don't make it through what they've made it through this year they just simply do not. So that to me was always the argument. Forget about the Sam Darnold situation. Rakestraw not activated for the game either. Yeah, this is oof. Live Washington overs are probably the biggest benefit of this is actually De'Ami Brown, I would say. McLaurin as well. I think we muted you by accident.
Oh, I muted myself.
Yeah.
Zev Bellringer in the chat?
Yeah, Zev's in here every night.
Shout out.
Zev's one of our biggest fans.
Shout out.
Yep. Oh, man.
All right. I got to bring up like play-by-play on ESPN because my stream is so far behind.
Yeah.
Did you get any action in on this game? I heard you say earlier in the week you didn't really love anything.
This is a extremely light week for me right now. Oh, that was a big hit. Yeah, he looks like he was crying going off the field. That cannot be good for Robertson. Cannot be good. No, I don't. I barely have anything going on. I'm not going to pass post what I played in the first game either because I don't want people calling me out on it as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
De'Ami Brown immediately catches a ball. But maybe it takes you betting on the Chiefs yourself to reverse the trend.
Like I said, it's the last tool I got in my toolbox. It's a Hail Mary effort. I do bet on the Chiefs quite a bit in the regular season. In the playoffs, historically, the past few years, I've bet against them a lot. And past 2 Super Bowls, I bet against them. And even last year, I said, I'm going to bet against them. It doesn't matter. They're going to win. And I did. So it's my last tool. I got to start betting on them.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to... Wow. Man, if Washington can go and score a tutter on this drive,
it's going to be tough.
That is going to be tough.
Yeah.
Eckler's already involved in the passing game. So I think I want to see how this plays out a little bit more, but live might be worth some Brian Robinson unders if this is if he's already this involved in the first series. Oh man. Tomorrow, 2 big games.
Yes.
I'm personally much more interested in Bills Ravens, excuse me.
Oh, of course.
Like,
yeah. It's game of the week.
It's a marquee matchup. You got anything going in those games?
Yeah, I'm taking the Eagles to cover and the Ravens to win and cover.
Yeah.
I think the Ravens are the best team in football right now.
There's a very decent argument that could be made towards that.
Early in the season, a lot of issues defensively. They seemingly fixed those in the second half of the season. Penalties, big concern, especially if they play. Oh, imagine the Ravens. The Ravens are going to get 85 penalties against the Chiefs. Already the most penalized team, and then going against the Chiefs. I'm going to make it part of my handicap next week. I'm just going to do forward progress best bets. I'm going to not even break down the game. I'm just going to be like, you know the drill. Yeah,
it's Mahomes at Arrowhead. Like, what are we? There's going to be a million penalty calls that favor the Chiefs. Isaiah Likely might toe tap out of bounds late in the game.
People forget if he cut his toenails night before opening night, Ravens win that game.
All it took was a half-size shoe, a little bit smaller shoe.
Yeah.
That's it. This has to be offside, I think. False start. Wow.
Do you ever go to like Super Bowl week at all?
I don't know.
No.
I listen. I don't know how well I would fare on the media row, to be honest. Yeah. And I'm an open book when it comes to things. Like half the people on media row are people that I don't get along with. Or,
oh, really?
Or like I don't want to say half, but I don't know how I would react to seeing Warren Sharp in real life. Random people just walking down and sitting down to be guests on your show, and like you gotta put on a smile and be like, yeah. Like I don't want to do that.
I'm doing it for the first time this year. It's going to be an interesting experience. So if you saw Warren Sharp, you go up and say something. You can't just ignore him.
I don't think I can. No.
Interesting. Okay, I would just ignore him.
I know it's not in my nature though.
Okay.
People think, Rob, keyboard warrior. Like I'm like, I wouldn't go up.
What would you say if you went up?
No, I wouldn't. It wouldn't be like, wow, they didn't come back from commercial quick enough there. I wouldn't. I'm not gonna like berate him in public. Sure, I probably would have a private conversation with him and be like, hey, let's catch up for a little bit and let's chat. And then I would just ask him like if he feels it's morally right to sell picks at numbers worse than what he bet them at and fake
just
lines
make up
and
records
stuff like that. Yeah.
But his last name is Sharp though, so
yes,
he must be.
His last name. 4th and 1 here, Ian.
All right. Play by play. Didn't get it.
They brought in Mariota. Must have run what I looked like they were trying to run some sort of trick play where he's under center and he's going to like flip it back or something. Honestly, just a really, really dumb thing to do.
So I have the over in this game, Rob. And what I needed not to happen would be long drives that get stopped on 4th down.
Yeah.
I need those 4th down conversions.
I don't know what they're all confused. Like Brian Robinson's confused. I really think that this was a play where he was going to get it under center and then pitch it, like fake a sneak and pitch it. And he just got wrapped up really quickly.
I'm about to see it now.
Yeah.
It is. I don't get bringing in Mariota. Like Jaden Daniels can run.
I know. They've done this a few times before, but like, yeah, I would probably not.
He turned around to pitch it and like Robinson got in his way.
Yeah. I don't know what that play was.
That's what it looked like to me.
Yeah, it did. It looked like he was going to pitch it.
And then Robinson was in his way.
But he looked like he was going to pitch it to Daniels.
Like
Daniels
is like Robinson came up to block and like he was in his way, so he couldn't pitch it.
388 says when you have Jaden Daniels, be sure to take the ball out of his hands on 4th. I think they were actually trying to get it into his hands, but they just did it in the dumbest way possible.
Yeah. Let's not get crazy.
I honestly think I'm going to message Hitman on the side. I feel like Robinson was completely out to lunch on that play, and that might even be better for Robinson unders going forwards. Is Dan Quinn that guy though? Is Dan Quinn that guy that's going to lay down the law? That's what we got to figure out.
He's not.
No.
He's also a guy who likes to blow a 28-3 lead.
Yeah. Yep. I got to say, I'm wrong about many things every year. I'm just going to throw that out there. I was very wrong about Dan Quinn in Washington.
But I wouldn't say that yet.
Sure. I mean, he did luck into like arguably the best quarterback in the NFC already.
Is Jaden Daniels the best quarterback in the NFC already?
I don't know. You tell me. I think so.
Wow.
Who's better? Who's better than Daniels right now? I mean, listen, some people make the Stafford argument. I think Daniels probably got him now. I think Stafford's aged a little bit.
Goff, you don't think Goff's better?
No.
Just that added bonus of what he can do with his legs just makes it. Jalen Hurts, you think Jalen Hurts is better?
No, I don't.
I'm not going to argue with you. I mean, I'm gonna say something. It's not serious. I'm being tongue in cheek when I say this, but those 3 games by Michael Penix look pretty good.
Yeah, could get there, man. Give him another 3 or 4 years, he could get there.
Another 3 or 4 years. It is a tease to like have a rookie quarterback be a top 10 pick, look great in 3 games, and you have to just wait an offseason.
Yeah. Feels like Washington is going to rue that opportunity. I think tonight's one of the nights that I might want to bet a pass catcher on every drive. To catch a pass. I'm down. I think I'm down to fire a little bit tonight.
All right.
I'm going to get my FanDuel open and
all right. I'll join you if you want to toss something in here.
Yeah. We had that one night where we made all the producers do it, and that ended up in the positive. These usually don't turn out well, but you know what?
Who cares?
Exactly.
I don't care. I mean, you might care, but I don't care.
I don't. I need someone to tackle Gibbs. That's got to happen. That's got to happen. Washington's second drive to catch a pass.
Big play. Okay, second drive to catch a pass.
See, they spread it out on that first drive, which is nice.
A little Zacchaeus plus 260.
He was the only one that didn't catch one on the first drive.
Off the board. Former Falcon.
Down to 240. Look at you moving lines.
Yeah, that's what I do, Rob. I move lines.
I didn't pay close enough attention to see who was lined up across who on everything, but I kind of just only want to avoid Brian Branch, basically. Because with Robertson out, I guess you want to avoid Branch and Arnold, although Arnold, he'll just take a penalty instead of letting you catch the ball is basically what
I saw a Terry and Arnold jersey in Central Park today, so maybe I want to bet on him to get a pick.
Sure, it was Terry and Arnold?
It was a Lions jersey with Arnold on the back. Was there another Arnold for the Lions?
No, that would be Terry and Arnold. It's pretty odd. Unusual.
Hardcore. I have an AJ Terrell jersey. That's when you want sometimes when you want a jersey as a fan of the team to like let people know you know ball, you got to get a DB.
Yep.
Right. You do. Am I wrong?
It's 100%.
Sometimes you got to let people know. I'm not going to get a Bijan Robinson jersey. Everyone has a Bijan Robinson jersey. I'll go with AJ Terrell.
No, you're not even going to go AJ Terrell. You're going to go Mike Hughes, man.
No, his contract's up.
Little D. Alford, man.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not a D. Alford guy.
No. Kevin King, Antonio Hamilton. It's sad. I know all the Falcons corners. You know that? It's real sad.
Jesse Bates. Now that's a guy who can get a jersey.
Bates is a jersey you get. Even a Justin Simmons is a nice one too.
No, he's one and done. He was big disappointment. Not enough people are talking about how much of a disappointment he was. The Lions scored yet? I just saw they just got first and goal.
They have not scored yet. You know what? Now that I think about it, you rocking a Nate Landman jersey, that's where it's at right there.
Caden Ellis.
That's where it's at. Now they're in the end zone. Gibbs is in, plus 500 first TD. It's like, I mean, FanDuel had the best price there, but I can't bet that. I can't bet stuff like that.
Oh. Is your dream Super Bowl matchup as a fan Lions Bills?
As a fan? Well, see, now I have to remove any. I'm not making life-changing money off KC futures, but I do have some. So
okay, remove futures. Just talking as a fan.
So there's a lot that goes.
That's Canada Super Bowl.
I know, but for me, that's not good.
Mm. In what sense is it not good? You know too many Lions and Bills fans? Yeah. I get that. Yeah. Not many Lions and Bills fans on the East Coast, so I don't know any.
Really, there's not a good option in the NFC to win the Super Bowl, in my opinion, because Washington and Philadelphia, I can't cheer for those teams. They're rivals to the Cowboys. Detroit is Knish. I can't handle that. And I just don't want to watch the Rams play two more games after this.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy watching the Rams usually.
So you're just going to cheer for the Chiefs then, because that'd be your biggest win would be Chiefs.
Yeah. It's really hard for me to get myself out of that mindset. If I couldn't have the Chiefs win, I would definitely want the Ravens or Bills to win, because I want one of those guys to get a Super Bowl, right?
Yeah. I got some Ravens 10-1. So from a betting perspective, it'd be nice for the Ravens to win.
Yeah. You know what? I was fully around on the Bills until today. Seriously.
What do you mean?
The
What
Bills
happened
fans
today?
complaining about the Chiefs stuff turned me off big time today.
I complained about the Chiefs stuff.
Yeah, but you're a Falcons fan. No one cares about the Falcons.
Okay. Fair but true.
No, it was just getting ridiculous. It got to the point where it was like, yeah, it was a little over the top. It was like stuff that wasn't even bad calls now. It was just like obvious complaints. There was like a holding on I can't remember who was being held. Both arms were within the jersey and he was being dragged around. Like it's obvious holding penalty. It's like, oh, here's another call. Here's another call. I was a little turned off.
There were some calls that were calls. Yes. Also, I do just feel like if you are a cheer for a rival team in the playoffs, like to complain, it's it's not as good of a look.
Yep.
Just beat them next week.
Yep.
Beat the Ravens tomorrow. Yeah, you got a game tomorrow to worry about. Don't worry about the Chiefs.
That's it. Simple as that. Simple as that. Then after they win tomorrow, there's going to be the conspiracy that the schedule makers wanted Kansas City to have an extra day of rest. Even though it's very obvious that game should have been put into that time slot and the Bills game should be the late Sunday game. But that's going to happen. Be a talking point this week.
Did you see the Falcons signed Jeff Ulbrich?
Jeff Ulbrich. Oh, DC. That should right the ship.
The Jets defense famously went from like top 5 to bottom 5 after Salah left and Ulbrich took over, and now he's the DC.
That's it, man.
Perfect.
Some of these guys, they must be just really good. Like, they must do really well in interviews.
Well, no, the issue with, and I don't remember the exact connection, but this has been an ongoing issue with the Falcons front office, is they constantly hire guys who they know. And I don't remember the connection with Ulbrich, but we have some kind of previous connection to Ulbrich, so that's why they hired him.
Got it.
We brought Raheem Morris back, and then he got to bring his. That's been the Falcons' issue when it comes to hiring for years now.
Right. As I think about it, I do think KC Detroit is the best game, best Super Bowl. I think it's the best hype game because KC almost has to be there now as the bad guy. They're the heel of the league now.
You're right. Yes. Yes. And if the Lions win that game, that would be the sweetest victory of all time. If they lose that game,
I know.
If the Chiefs win, that would be devastating.
Yep. Be like Shawn Michaels submitting Bret Hart in Montreal.
Yeah.
Bret screwed Bret.
Ulbrich was defensive coordinator for them in 2020. So they just like to bring guys back. That's their thing.
It's their thing.
But yeah, Chiefs Lions would be fun. I just don't want to see the Chiefs back in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's enough. Let other teams win.
McLaurin catch there. That was Arnold on McLaurin. Okay, so Arnold is on McLaurin. So Branch, let's see if who's lining up in the slot. My eyes are too bad, man.
How big's your TV? You can't see it?
It's pretty large.
Do you have a guy from The Office? Michael Scott TV?
No. I love that episode. One of the best episodes of TV ever. It's a very large TV that's close, but it's my eyesight it's not good.
Wow.
Even with glasses, I can't get to 20/20 vision.
Wow.
I can't get anywhere close to that. So it's got to deal with it. I don't know, man. These stupid plays, Cliff, just drop back and pass over and over and over. I think that will be a highly successful game plan. Drop back, pass. If you got nothing, Jaden takes off.
Do you think quarterback rushing yards props have become overinflated in the playoffs?
Not overinflated, because there definitely is. It's like the incentives week, right? Where
that's the vibe I got heading in the playoffs, because everyone was talking about quarterback rushing props.
So, but it matters. So they should be elevated. It's just now that they've actually been elevated. There's no edge on a lot of them anymore.
But you now think they're not necessarily over elevated.
I think you got to evaluate it on a game by game circumstance.
Sure.
CJ Stroud has won where like high leverage games, he'll run the ball a lot more. There's certain quarterbacks that you're always just going to get more of that.
Yeah.
I mean, I did call. Early Bird says Pizzola called the Mahomes kneel downs on Pizza Buffet today.
Did that ruin his rushing props today?
Well, I didn't even. He didn't kneel down, did he? He went. Oh, he took the safety.
CJ Stroud kneeled down.
I know, but the play before that was the safety play.
That was their punter.
They did a Kareem Hunt run and then 2 kneels and then the punt, or 2 runs, kneel, punt.
Mahomes, I missed those. Yeah, so he kneeled for 4 yards and then 5 -4, -5.
Did that ruin his rushing prop? That's classic.
I was taught. So someone was asking about that today. I'm like, remember, they're big favorites, and Mahomes isn't the 1 yard kneel guy.
No, that happened in the Super Bowl against, was it the Eagles? Was it
49ers?
It was the first 49ers one. Yeah.
It was the first one, the one where Garoppolo missed the deep ball.
Yes,
he was listed as 14.5, so you got hooked on it, and he took like 2 to 3. I can check the play-by-play, but I think he lost like 3 yards twice or 2 yards twice. So
no, he lost 9 on two carries.
Yeah, so
he lost 9 on 2 carries.
Yeah,
that's
Early Bird Capper saying Mahomes is at 23.5 most of the week. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe CJ Stroud was at 14. I might have had that mistaken.
I didn't even notice the Chiefs jersey you're wearing. Unbelievable.
I wore it just for you, honestly.
Pride, man.
I wore it just for you.
Oh man,
cheering for the Chiefs if you're like actually not a Chiefs fan, like is like cheering for like the bad guy in a movie. It's like cheering for like the dark side.
I love cheering for Darth Vader.
It's like being a big Darth Vader fan.
Yeah, it's fun.
I love Sauron or whatever the Lord of the Rings guy's name is.
Sauron, yeah, love Sauron.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, Zacchaeus was just targeted. I need to know who was covering him because he had blanket coverage. That was Branch, no?
Okay.
Yeah, it was Branch. Zacchaeus is toast tonight. I got to tell you, he's not the guy.
Oh, boy. Actually, that doesn't affect me. Never mind.
I said that he'll now catch 7 passes for 67 yards and 2 tutters.
Oh, no, I had the one catch on this drive that I did sprinkle on. He didn't catch the target? I haven't seen it yet.
No, he didn't. Okay. There was never a remote chance of him being able to. Branch is all over him. Oh, he dropped it. De'Ami Brown dropped an open 3rd down. De'Ami Brown is the guy, though. He's got that was Kendall Vildor who's filling in. De'Ami Brown. Okay, we're gonna hit that on the next commercial break.
I believe it was Brown I chose for that King of the End Zone touchdown DraftKings thing.
Zane Gonzalez long field goal. What could go wrong? It's good though. Down the pipe. Let's see what Zacchaeus and Brown are at when these get reposted here for Washington, because I think that's a decent. I'm going to go yards on both, but they're going to be tied together one way or another. Oh man, I'm seeing a Popeye's chicken commercial, and not going to lie to you.
Popeyes, man.
I bought groceries a few days ago, and I've been cooking again. Got a new oven. Got an induction oven. Don't know how the fuck this thing works, but that shit heats up real quick, dude.
Isn't that the same as a...
You're right there. Need a Tums?
No, it was a burp. I didn't want to burp on camera.
Okay.
I could have just muted myself, but... Yep. Isn't that the same as a... What's the other thing that everyone uses now? Air fryer. Isn't it the same as an air fryer?
I don't know, honestly. I mean, this is an actual stove. It's a stove.
Right, but I think it cooks the same way as an air fryer does. I might be wrong.
I honestly have no idea.
I don't know. Chief reflux.
But like, if you're like boiling a pot of water, the thing boils in like 30 seconds, man. It's insane.
Oh, it's even like the top thing. It's not just like it's not.
There's an actual oven, but yeah, there's a top.
Then there's
thing.
like a stove top too?
Yeah, there's a stove top.
Oh,
it's just, and it's barely hot to your hand. It's messed up, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah. All right. Carlos getting us back on track. What are we betting here? So De'Ami Brown is 35.5 and Zacchaeus is 26.5. Not going to lie to you. I was hoping for a little higher number on Zacchaeus right now. Because this is still going to be a wide open game. It's too short to go low on that. Yeah, as it's being bet up by a yard right now. We're not doing anything. We're not doing anything. Sorry, Carlos. I don't think I missed the opportunity. I think that's where those numbers opened. But I was talking about the oven.
Sorry.
That's all right.
It's on me.
What are you going to do? Oh, you know what? That's how we're going to do it. The De'Ami Brown catch next drive. That's what we're going to play. We're getting back to our bread and butter. Let me pull it up. Popular Washington Commanders, third drive player to catch a pass. De'Ami Brown plus 260. Hello. This is bad price relative to Zacchaeus. 275, even better. How do you got 275? I got 260. Hope FanDuel's not feeding dual lines. Oh, there we go. It was Eckler. Never mind. De'Ami Brown 260. That's a go. That is happening.
Done. I'm in.
It's going into the account.
I'm in. Oh, too slow. Unless you got it at 260. Just went down 250.
I'm there.
Line mover.
Yeah. Either way, I mean, relatively speaking, Zacchaeus should not be favored over Brown right now. He shouldn't. He's got the toughest matchup of anyone on Washington, and the Lions are going to play a lot of man. I don't agree with that. Every time I make a firm stance like that, though, never works out.
5 catches for Zacchaeus next drive.
Zacchaeus 2+. What does that pay? Zacchaeus 2+ is 18-1. The problem, like Washington can't kick field goals. It's a real problem. Although it's not too bad for them right now. 2 possessions each, 7-3. It's not too bad. But their chances of getting stops are going to reduce significantly as this offense starts to heat up a little bit. Good point, Mojal. Zacchaeus playing less snaps than Brown as well. Man, I am really regretting the Gibbs under.
Under rushing?
Yeah, I bet under rushing. I do think Montgomery going 3 carries for 1 yard to start the game, or 2. It was 2 for. He had that big the negative one. Didn't help the game state for Montgomery getting more carries. Because Gibbs is a million times
well,
better.
at the end of the day, Gibbs is just a more effective back. Like,
way better.
They should be limiting Montgomery to begin with.
Yeah. Way better.
And there's Gibbs. Yeah, that's not good.
See, like even on this play you're going to see coming up, Washington played the screen they were trying to set up really well. And Lions still got a secondary option open for 6 yards.
The Lions, just to me, look like one of the most, like, I don't know if it's coaching, but they just look like one of the most efficient teams I've seen, like, in recent history. It's
so functional. It feels so easy for them.
Right. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, it's like if one thing doesn't work, they just do something else, and then that works just as well. Like they're not one-dimensional. They can attack you several different ways. Like, they don't really make mistakes.
The only mistake they ever make is bringing David Montgomery into the game.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I think the biggest mistake is.
And they're doing all this with Jared Goff, who's not like an elite level quarterback.
No.
I'd love to see the Lions win the Super Bowl.
It'd be a good time for me to find that clip of Kanish going wild when they hired Dan Campbell and just retweet that.
That'd be your only counter to
That's my only move at that point. I don't think he would care. Oh, wow.
Uh-oh.
Wow. Commies.
Turnover.
Wow. Frankie Louvu. You know what? You can't write that stuff. You talk about how easy.
And a bad turnover 2 plays later.
Holy
I need to just start saying like the opposite of things I want to happen.
Yeah, it's a classic Seinfeld episode.
Yeah.
Costanza
George,
opposite. Yeah. I'm doing another like my millionth Seinfeld rewatch right now.
Oh, it's the best.
It actually is the best show ever. I think.
And the humor all holds up.
It's insane.
Like 30 years later, the jokes are just as funny. They hit just as well.
I know. And I know what's coming, and I still am laughing. Yeah. Like it's absurd.
Yeah,
it's absurd.
I saw it. Yeah.
Got roughly 300 watching on YouTube. We got another 400 watching on Twitter right now. If you could smash that like button down below, just take it's a little thumbs up button. Just hit it. Just tap it in. Just tap it in. A little tap-a-roo.
And subscribe while you're there.
There you go. It tells YouTube we're doing something good. They get the content out to other people. And Zach Prozac says, Always Sunny. I love Always Sunny as well. I love Always Sunny.
I got to watch it, and I haven't. And I've been meaning to. It's on me, but I just haven't.
Yeah. I love Always Sunny. I mean, I go back and forth on that every time I watch one or the other. It's also very similar dynamic with like a bunch of males, one female as part of the group. Although I will say she's more of the butt of the joke in Always Sunny than Elaine being the butt of the joke in Seinfeld. But it's, teach their own. It's a really weird request. Shirtless show when you get 10K subs. I mean, we could. I've done pantsless shows before. I am wearing pants right now, though. But I have done pantsless.
I would like to say, because I've come on the stream and said I'm anti-GRP. I'm back in. Yeah. All I had to see was him betting Penei Sewell to win at a Super Bowl MVP. I'm kind of back in.
I need to have like a hotness meter. Maybe we'll do this for Circle Back at some point. Because right now, I'm off Blez bets big time.
I was never in on him. Yeah,
the Blez bets shtick has gotten real tired real quick. Whereas GRP's did get tired, but then he went on vacation, and now you know what? GRP on the hotness meter, he's back up.
He's back up. Buying his mom a lottery ticket, who he lives with for Christmas, and then going to drop $100 in Penei Sewell Super Bowl MVP.
It's incredible. It's so good. Yeah, so I'm back in. I'm back in on GRP for the time being. I do respect as well that he says a lot of things that I want to say that I just like I could never force myself to type.
Yeah.
He does it.
And then he was bragging during the Vikings-Rams game about how right he was about the Vikings all season, even though he did lose under Vikings. And he also bet Sam Darnold comeback player of the year. So, like, what are you talking about?
Yep. I know. He was quite upset before the stream today.
He's doing a victory lap.
He thought he got such a great number on Detroit, and then the market steamed Washington in like the last hour leading up to the game. It was too good. Yeah. There used to be that Flacco Elite meter. You got to get those going for different Twitter personalities as well.
Yep.
Showtime says he can never quit Fezzik. Well, that's because he doesn't have your phone number, and he has mine. And he texts me nonstop. I'm actually curious how many times in a row he could text me without getting a response at this point. I'm doing this as a sociological experiment.
That's crazy to me.
It's just what, I don't want to reveal the text. So the light, but it's like, I'm scrolling. He's got a picture of like some pie there from Starbucks, whatever's going. He's just texting himself.
That's crazy.
Texted himself. Anyways, Ian.
Is my time on here over? It's over.
End of the first. What's going on with Leafs and Habs right now?
Can I ask one quick question before I hop off?
Yeah.
The Leafs to me seem like the complete opposite of the Leafs every other season.
100%.
Which makes me not believe in the Leafs, but then maybe I should, because maybe this is the type of team that they need to actually go on a run. Do you agree with that statement?
This is the worst the Leafs have played in like 5 seasons. But
correct. But they're winning
top
games.
The standings. It's purely goaltending this year for them.
Yes.
And maybe that's the difference for them this year. But yeah.
Maybe it'll be enough. Maybe that's what
they fucking suck, man.
Because their analytics are not good.
No, they suck. They suck. Anyways, enjoy betting Mahomes as a dog next week.
Oh, I'm going to pound it. gonna pound it.
You got
It'll
it.
be the happiest I'll ever be if I lose that bet. The happiest I'll ever be losing a bet will be if that lose next week. But yeah, thanks for having me on, Rob. I appreciate it. Take care.
All right. Have a good one. Ian McMillan, everyone. I see 3 from the chat this morning. Did notice you this morning on Pizza Buffet, roasting me for betting. I want to say Brian Robinson under 1.5 receiving. Still does not have a catch. I don't know how we're going to go with this, but I am going to just ban you and delete your comments because I don't ever want to see them again. And I have the power to do so.
Thank you. I was borderline ready to do that, but I wasn't sure if I would get like the, dictator, blah, blah, blah. Like that guy was deserved. I almost did it on
Well, you can't do that stuff, Jason. I mean, technically it is your show as much as mine, but I get to lay down the law. And I see, I can deal with people attacking you in real time. I can deal with people roasting you. That's fine. That's all fun and games. But when they come after me, then we got to draw the line somewhere.
All right, fair enough. I also found the Kanish clip if you ever want it, and I sent it. I'll probably just DM it to you, so then you could just always check your DMs if you ever need it.
Okay.
I don't know if you want it, but
you have. I'm going to bookmark it right now. I got it.
Yeah.
Dan Campbell instant reacting. God, Kanish's hair. It was like really flat.
The sideburns are crazy.
What's going on with Kanish's hair back?
It's 2021. It's not like this was 1993.
Bring that up on the screen. We don't have to play the video, but like people have to see this for themselves. What is that? That's like he's got no shower pressure. Something. It's like a bad shower pressure day. Look at this guy.
I just want him to turn his head because like the sideburns are just moving around too much.
Oh, what a strike. JD, baby, we get it. We get it. That's our De'Ami Brown catch. Cash it.
Bang.
Bang, 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 bang. Where's Drunken Goon? Bang, bang. 15-yard penalty in the NFL for the finger pistols, but not here, baby. Not here. Hello. We're going to hit another one of those tonight. Well, or just lose back our profits. But we banged it. We banged it. Let's get that De'Ami Brown TD now. Greek says Goff under 285. I don't think this is setting up for a Goff under, to be honest with you. I know that they ran the ball quite a bit last drive, but that's that. Anyways, now that His Royal Highness behind the scenes has been delivered his tea, I believe it was a tea from his significant other, which I noticed happening backstage. He's ready to go. The whale capper, Drew Dinsick. It was a drink. 1 second. I think we got you muted. Either you got...
I may have muted myself because there were some stray comments flying around, and
no problem.
I got to fix my camera angle so our heads are at equal level here.
Yep.
It's been a long time. Happy New Year. I know it's
Happy
late.
New Year.
I wish anyone a Happy New Year. Happy, hopeful that you had just a spectacular NFL season in general and that the playoffs are going your way. It's great to be back. It's been
spectacular
a while.
Season, no, but good. Playoffs going my way, no. But I got nothing going on this week. This week was very empty week for me all around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Were you part? You weren't part of the avalanche of money that pushed Chiefs to 10. Then
I was not. I was right on there. Yeah, I mean, Washington got pushed down at post today. Every playoff game seemingly, or at least the majority of them, have taken some late action, as this is going to be big here with Washington going for it on 4th down. Again, I don't know why they even target Zacchaeus with Branch on him. Branch is all over him. You're a million years ahead of me. I got to just watch the score bug. I guess my internet's behind. We're in the same country. We're in the same country. You should get the same connection.
Where are you?
Well, I'm in the 51st state.
Oh, right. Right. Yeah. Yes. Welcome. Welcome.
Okay. So I'm going to play a little bit of spoiler when it works in my favor. So I have a little bit of Washington money line in this game. Nothing.
That was the right call.
Yeah. And it's going the way that I had hoped so far. So they did convert this 4th down and they went for it, which was a talking point going into the game, right? Of whether they would keep this up, and they are. They're almost like Dan Campbelling Dan Campbell.
I love
right
it.
now.
I want to actually specifically address that point that you just raised, but I want to also acknowledge some of my favorite people in the chat. Patrick, of course, Durso, of course, cocktail of choice. We had a little party at our abode today, and we made a punch that was kind of like a jet pilot. I don't know if you're familiar with the tiki cocktails, but it's Campari and dark rum, a little bit of pineapple juice, a little bit of lime juice, and top it with sparkling wine, or in our case, champagne. And and then a little bit of then you exercise a mint sprig and you put that on the top, so you get the the mint aroma. So salute, cheers, happy new year to everybody. And Drunken Goon was wondering as well. Some great people in the chat. You get some great people. I gotta ask you.
Yep.
If you're Dan Campbell, and you tell the world, this is who I am.
Yep.
We're going for it on fourth down.
Yep.
If you want to beat us, you got to score 30. Like, ultimately, there's a little disadvantage in that, right?
I think so. If you always know what the other team is going to do in those situations, I would agree. Yes.
Yeah. It's kind of the same sort of thing as people who are like, what? Well, they should have just gone for 2 to win it, when there's like 30 seconds left. And you're like, well, if you make it, then the other team's not going to, fiddle fuck around. They're just they know they have to get a field goal, and they're going to be much more aggressive. Right. Exactly. It's like, if you're up against Dan Campbell and company in the playoffs, like, I think you kind of have to know you need to be aggressive. And I will tell you what, man, this Washington team is weird as hell. Their DNA is weird as hell. They are so good on fourth down and short yardage, and so bad in the red zone. I do not understand this. I do not get it.
There's a flag on third down here. It was McLaurin coming across the field. Now, I don't know if he 100% got held. In real time, I thought maybe it was just like a feet tangled type of penalty. And maybe it was. It's kind of soft. Let's put it that way. But it's going to be first and goal from the 1.
I got to figure out how to get a faster stream. This is fucking bullshit. Sorry, man. Excuse my language.
No, it's okay. You don't have to apologize for swearing on Forward Progress.
I can find a faster deal. Ooh, man. So I guess if you're holding Washington money line, which again, I think we made this point, or I made it somewhere. The fourth down variance means, forget taking the points with the Washington, take the money line, right?
Correct. Look for that, like the variance to work in your favor.
Yeah, and either it doesn't and you get blown out, or it does and you're live and you win. What is the number as far as the lead goes where you consider coming back on Detroit?
We might not align on this, so I'll just lay it out to you. I almost never consider that, honestly, because it's very hard for me to separate my rooting interest in the game from. I don't have a good answer for you, Drew. I just almost never do. You
just like, hey, the die is cast.
Yeah, I throw it in.
The die is cast.
Unless I strongly feel it's not it's really not a great position. I got lucky in the early going, like I shouldn't be on this. Then I'll consider it. But Washington is very much live right now. And this is kind of what I was looking for going into the game. Some positive stuff. Brian Robinson's up the middle for a TD here. And we got the lead.
Pop. I got some Washington football team total over, which I appreciated this touchdown. I appreciated that the fourth down was converted, because another drive with 0 points, and I would have been a little tilted. I had Houston in the first game, and because I'm not a fucking idiot, I sold to 8.5. So I'm a little ready to have some time in a quiet dark room with Mr. Fairbairn to give him a piece of my mind. I can only imagine what the conspiracy wonks have to say about the way that game went down in the end.
Yes.
I guess I'm happy for them that they're fuel that they just got this enormous amount of fuel to create content with. But another fourth down stump would have bummed me out.
So Sam Cosme's down for Washington. He's their right guard. I didn't see it in real time, but Mitch made a comment in the chat that looked like a bad one type of situation. So we will see what comes of that. I don't even know who. I know the backup guard there is. His name is Chris Paul, not no relation to Chris Paul NBA, but I don't think he's active tonight either. So I wonder who would even step in at that point.
My depth chart says it is Cornelius Lucas.
So Cornelius
Lucas the swing guy
is usually the backup left tackle.
Yeah, I think he's
that
the
makes
swing
sense.
though.
Yeah,
maybe backup center Michael Dieter gets called on.
Possibly. He also played. He was horrible when he started.
Yeah,
for
he's very bad.
That was rough. Speaking of rough, I hate to bring this up.
Yeah, go for it.
Zach says, "Can we talk about the all-time best Drew tilt?" And so to me, this isn't my favorite Drew tilt because we were opposites on this game. I remember because we were head-to-head in the Calcutta that happened that year. I had Chiefs and you had Bills.
Yeah.
But my favorite Drew tilt was when he joined in the second quarter for Jags Chargers.
Oh, that was a good one.
Because you got the Jags in that game, and it was just
the Jags were make or break for the weekend for me in that one. And Trevor Lawrence finished the first half with 4 picks, 5. I lost count.
Yeah, it was a disaster.
Like, who cares? 4 or 5 doesn't matter. Like the game was over. Like I was apoplectic. That was bad.
I would love to go back and watch that one at some point. I'd love to watch.
The 13-second tilt was special because I had a lot of Bills because beyond the Calcutta, I just had Bills everywhere. And I was so convinced they win that game, they win the Super Bowl. And they scored the touchdown and you get the you're like 99% win like it's home. This is home. It's over. Like they win. And then they absolutely donk, special teams donk, kicking the not squib kicking the kickoff.
The kickoff.
And then that Kelsey and then sure enough Kelsey twice. Bang bang.
Yeah.
Ooh, that is not a good injury. I wish I hadn't seen that. But I thought that was like I was literally like doing the math in real time. Like, how much does this cost me? Turns out though that the all-time sports adage, "Ball don't lie," came to my rescue as the Rams ended up sun running and winning the Super Bowl, who I also had in the Calcutta, and so that significantly took the sting off.
Yeah, I still lost money on my cheat. I mean,
I don't know how they lost to the Bengals in that game. I will never understand that game. Never understand it. You ever talk to Eric about that and what was going on in the locker room at halftime with the Chiefs?
I did not.
Okay. Well, forget I said that.
I gotta bring it up. I gotta ask him at some point. But I think those Calcuttas were big. I'm pretty sure I had like 75, 80K.
Oh, surely.
There.
That sounds right to me. Do you want to know?
Yeah, you know what? Sure. Remind me. I'm just interested.
Let me pull it. Jesus, what year is this?
That's 2021, right? 2021 was the.
I gotta pull out my. Got to pull out the old. Hard drive, the old backup hard drive. Is that long ago now? 2021 is that many years ago that the files are not on anywhere I can easily access.
That like Chiefs losing the Bills would have been catastrophic. I remember. I'll never forget that game. That was a huge sweat game for me. And I was watching with my wife, and she was just, we got Goff firing deep. Oh, just missed Williams.
Goff doesn't necessarily feel like he is not feeling the pressure. Am I wrong?
I feel like now we're in the position where the
pressure is on Goff.
Pressure is moved. Switched.
Do you remember a time this year where Goff was really like behind the 8 ball and like came through for the Lions?
Oh no, I remember when he was behind the 8 ball. It was the Bucks game in week 2.
The Bucks game and the Bills game.
Yeah,
he didn't. I guess.
The Bills game,
he was behind the 8 ball in the Texans game where he threw 5 interceptions and they ultimately won. The files are in the computer, Rob. They're in the computer.
Classic Zoolander. Yeah, love that.
They're in the computer. Yeah, let me tell you the number. This is going to be a good throwback. What do you have any futures book going right now, or are you pretty square regardless of what happens in the NFL from here to the end? Because that's ultimately how you ought to be, because it's such a crapshoot.
I have a little bit of Chiefs.
Just based on the Mahomes magic. What did you think when you saw him throw the touchdown to, I guess, I don't know. I feel like we could probably consult for the Texans. Like, have a plan for Kelsey. Have a plan.
I know.
Like have a plan. Like, it doesn't need to be a good plan, but a plan.
I thought it was the right
solid.
Like strategy by the Chiefs. It, like, not going after Stingley or Lassiter. They basically tried to avoid those guys at all costs for the majority of the game. Early on in the game, Stingley played some reps on Kelsey. And then as the game went on, it just didn't happen. Kelsey was 7 for 117. Oof. That is big time.
Yeah, they looked like they were literally like, who is this? Who's 87? Who is 87?
Never heard of him.
Never heard of him. Who is he? And I know that, like, the touchdown, like, it was almost like he geeked Al Shair, yeah. Al Shair. Aziz. He made him look pedestrian, or he put him on skates and wrong-footed him, which set up the space. But Mahomes being able to find that pass was absolutely absurd. That was ridiculous.
Agreed.
I have 9 million workbooks called 2021 NFL, so I'm just scrolling.
I'm surprised you keep all of them, man. I'm sure I could look.
Well, you know why? Is because if, like, it's a pretty, like, when the Calcutta's come about, it's quick, and it's good to keep the, oh, there it is. There's my Calcutta calc. It's good to keep it's good to keep the sheets for reuse purposes, right?
Right.
You borrow on all, like, you don't want to recode a lot of the jams here.
I think this live total is going to start with a 6 at 130.
I think you had him for 130, man. I have 130 as the
130. Number. That maybe makes more sense as to why I was sweating a lot. Okay. And maybe you had the Bills for 70?
Oh, actually, no. My fare on Chiefs was 130, estimating $1 million pot.
And what did I get them for? This is a story of my life, by the way. Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
This catch that Laporta just made. Absurd.
Oh boy.
I think we lost a chance to bet this live total under 60. I don't know how
you've been waiting for a live under?
No, I should have just bet the live over last drive. I watched it keep creeping up.
I took some 51. Did you see it go lower than that?
God, I did not. No. 51 is so nice. Laporta,
that was after 51 was after the, oh God, dude, watching it on replay, you know what it reminds me of? Mahomes. It was Mahomesian.
It was almost the same play.
It's almost, that's
quarterback going
weird.
Down. Yeah.
It's a little weird. Goff is now in the conversation with Mahomes. Oh, I didn't see that coming. Yikes, man. Let me see if I have the results of the Calcutta saved somewhere.
While that happens, I'm going to look for a commander to bet to catch a pass on this drive. I feel like I might as well just keep riding De'Ami Brown. Plus 210. Come down from plus 260 last drive. I'm doing that again. So I'm going to put some of the winnings people on De'Ami Brown to catch a pass. Plus 210. That's a go for me right now.
Yeah, I had 130. I have 130 for them. So, and you would have been something like minus 95 if they didn't win that game.
Yeah.
And you're minus 30 for losing the conf.
Yeah. That sounds right. That sounds right.
Brutal.
That was a tough one. I was watching with my wife, and she doesn't really like. Yeah, she doesn't. She thought when the Chiefs scored that touchdown that we were good, and I was like, I was upset.
Too much time.
She's like, I thought we were cheering for that team. I'm
Too
like,
much
you don't
time.
understand.
Too much time. Too much time.
It's
Too much time.
so
Too much time.
Field and score.
The back and forth at the end of that game was incredible. I am trying not to build up hope that tomorrow will be like that, but it feels like it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I really hope that that's a great game. I hope.
Can
Ravens
you
Bills is a
name
great game.
another playoff game where you had two quarterbacks that performed at this level facing in the playoffs? I can't think of one.
Off the top of my
going
head,
back
no.
to that.
I'm also like notoriously horrible memory. Horrible. No, you can't. This is the two. It's the two MVP candidates that, but like absurd, absurdly good years.
I think if you just like pluck a random year out of the hat and you put either of these guys in, they win MVP more than 50% of the time. Right? Like these were very, very compelling seasons.
Yep.
And you got a gut read on who wins. Not that it matters to anyone.
I think the number is fair. My gut is that Buffalo wins.
Okay.
My gut feeling, my instinct is that Buffalo wins. It should be noted to everyone there, I bet using my gut and instinct for a decade, and I lost a bunch of money. So it means nothing.
Times change.
Yes.
Times
gut
change.
Instinct is the Bills win.
Gut instinct is back.
Yeah,
Have you not been following current events? Gut instinct is back, baby.
2025. It's the year of gut instinct.
Yeah. We're at the tail end of the year of the dragon, year of the snake coming up. Like times have changed. Math nerds, they're out.
Math nerds, it's no longer
gut
not
is
cool
in.
to be math.
Gut conspiracy, all that pays now. What do you think actually happens in the MVP vote? Do you have an opinion? Do you have a stake?
I don't have a stake. I don't
Why
bet
not?
those markets. I don't. It's just
you
not
didn't
part
match
of
with
my
anyone
process.
on earth who wanted something for that.
I don't even look at it. Is the problem?
Okay.
It's
I
really
remember you
weird.
telling me this when we did one of these earlier in the year.
I mean, my stakes in the past were usually from listening to Lockie on You Better You Bet. That was like the only time, and I would listen. I'd be like, you know what he's saying.
You still message with them and get the goods now that you have them to yourself and no one else will get them
in retirement now and whatever. But that
he's
was
still
always
playing.
Oh, for sure, he's still playing. I meant like content retirement, I guess. But I leave him alone. I think he's enjoying the privacy a little bit more. But no, I don't. I literally used to listen to him on the show every single day. And listen, I wouldn't bet everything he said, but if he made a compelling case for something and I was like, yeah, you know what, that makes sense for me, I would go out and bet it. Now I don't really have an outlet to do that. And
you don't have a compass. You don't have a what's the right word? You don't have a
North Star.
A North Star. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right. You need the Oracle just to kind of paint the picture.
That's another cash right there, Drew. De'Ami Brown is banging for us right now.
Do you understand why there was a lack of recognition that he clearly emerged as a bona fide wide receiver too?
I
didn't really get that because that game against the Bucs, he was making enough plays that Daniels was going. That tends to.
That's what I'm looking
kind
at.
of lean
McLaurin
into
is a
more
big
usage.
play. McLaurin, big play. McLaurin to the house. Oh, to the house,
dude.
To the house. I mean, this live total might get to 100 in a game.
People are wondering if we're going to get our 50-51 homes by half. I just got 4 messages. Is our over going to get home by halftime?
No, you got to tell them. You got to tell them to delete those messages. Take those back.
I think these people were against me and they're trying to reverse jinx me. But yes,
I already know. I fucked up this game big time already because I've watched live. I watched 57 and a half literally 5 minutes ago of real time, and I let it go. And then I'm like, okay, I'm not taking 60 and a half. It's bad. Let it go. I'm watching 67 and a half now. It's probably going over 67.
Doesn't that seem low?
It seems low. It seems low.
I'm not being glib.
I am completely agree with you. It seems low to me. We're going to be at 31 points here off this field goal. It's I don't know, man.
Do you remember the most explosive, high-scoring football game you've seen in recent years? This is kind of this is low-hanging fruit, really. This is like I'm giving you one to make you feel good about your memory. Like one that you, like a game where we're just like standalone game. Everybody's like, yeah, this should be high scoring. And then
Bills Lions this year.
Bills Lions this year. Yeah. Yeah.
That was like 48-42.
There's another one that actually eclipsed
Chiefs
100.
Rams.
Chiefs Rams. That was the one I was thinking of.
Okay.
You want to guess if we have more greater than or fewer than points at this stage of the game?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't remember those games well enough to be able to tell you. I'd like to know, though. I
believe that game was in 2019.
It was a Mexico game, I think.
It was in Mexico City, but there was an Enrique Iglesias concert that wrecked the field, and so they moved it to the was it the Coliseum? I think they moved it to the Coliseum because at that time,
you're right.
We didn't have a we didn't have a SoFi Stadium yet. All right, and that game ended 54-51. And with what's the time right now? 6 with 6:23 remaining in the second quarter, that score was 16-10.
Wow.
Bang.
Wow.
We got ourselves a boat race. That's what I hear, at least. That's what the kids are calling it.
There's always one high scoring game that I will remember. It would be more than a decade ago. If I had to estimate, it was probably around 2012. And it was Broncos with Peyton Manning, Cowboys with Tony Romo. And it was a 51-48 final score. The Broncos won the game. And Romo threw a pick on the final drive, trying to bring the Cowboys into field goal range. It was the angriest I've ever been as a fan because the entire Twitter world turned on Romo. He played such a great game. He threw 5 touchdown passes in the game. And people were like, Romo, choke artist and whatever. It was like head-to-head against one of the best quarterbacks ever.
Yeah.
500 yards passing. Like,
you know what we call that, though, in the biz? We call that results-based analysis. And that dominates. I love results-based analysis. I love the stupid low-hanging fruit that is the kind of common discussion, and the fact that it's gotten sort of generally smarter with at least the NFL Today kind of people and the Greg Rosenthal's of the world and the Robert Mays' athletic guys. Like, they're elevating the conversation a bit, which is probably hurting our edge.
Right.
But the results-based stuff, absolutely. There's still old school sharp angles that work in the NFL. Who would freaking believe that? Like, it defies logic, but
crazy.
They work. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. You have to have an open mind. Do you know off the top of your head if this is one of the higher totals we've ever seen in a playoff game? Like, this closing total 56. Like, was the close 56? I wasn't watching the close.
The COVID, I think it actually got bet down. I think the sharp books went to 55 or 50. It was around 55 and a half. But the COVID year regularly had high totals, right?
Well, yeah, because there was no fans, and so there was no penalties.
Right.
Yeah.
So that had to be something that year. That was in the high 50s, I would say. Had to be. Was that 2020? I'm completely.
I guess so. I think so. 5 years ago? What? No, 4 years ago. But no, it was the 2021 playoffs. because the 2020 playoffs, no one knew what COVID-19 was.
Right.
Even though I had it.
Yeah.
At that time.
I think Spanky or either Spanky or Rufus's fiance gave me COVID at that time.
I avoided it because I had already had it. I just had it. Did I tell you that story? I don't think I did. Did I? Did I?
No, I don't. I don't think so.
Okay, so sickest I was ever in my life.
Oh yes, yes.
We got a turnover.
We got Goff airmailing a pass. Pick six. We're in the end zone.
Holy shit! Fuck yes, this is happening. The Commanders are going to win this game 41 to 51, 54 to 51. Like this is happening. That's what
Goff
you need.
Is getting. Goff is having the Sam Darnold experience right now. I think
this is happening.
The pressure is building.
Oh baby. Well, the Sam Darnold experience was that Sam Darnold was staring at the pressure.
Yes.
I don't think Goff was staring at the pressure. Goff just does dumb shit sometimes.
Just
airmail stuff sometimes.
Patrick, yeah.
I can't believe he ran that back. I can't believe he took that to the house. What a house call. Incredible. Pumpkin Goff dictated.
SGPs are live right now, I will say. So this is a very, very good score line for SGPs right now, which would be great. What
was the SGP? Goff to throw a pick six?
No, it's Washington minus 2.5 paired
Okay.
with Goff 350 plus passing yards. Now Goff's only at 120.
Oh, that gets there. That's I would grade that a W if I was working behind the counter. It's over.
Mr. Pizzola, we would like to offer you this cash out right now. Bob asks, what number would you need to bet under? It's actually a very interesting question that you asked.
105.5. I honestly think 54-51 is in play.
So these types of games, I will call this an outlier game. I don't think these types of games work well within the algorithms that are used to set live markets because we see these so infrequently.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're catching up quick enough. I say that as someone who has not bet a live over in the game and continuously watches the opportunities go away. But they don't do well.
If you like, let me just tell you this. If you like the under right now, find a way to parlay that with the Washington Commanders winning by 20-something points.
Yeah.
Because the only way this stays under is if Jared Goff literally turns into an actual pumpkin.
Yeah. Yep.
We have had, if you were curious, we've had a lot of games in the playoffs close over 54. More than I would ever have believed. 3 of them in 2014.
Oh, that's a while back.
3 of them in 2021. That was your COVID year you mentioned.
Yeah. And the Chiefs offense was actually very dynamic.
4 of them. Dude, did you remember that Chiefs Buccaneers Super Bowl closed 56?
I do. Yeah. I do remember that.
That seems like I mean, I know that, like, take the results aside, like a Super Bowl closing 56 seems, man.
I know.
Wow. Didn't get there. You probably remember the Chiefs Bengals game that cost you a spot. Probably cost you.
It cost me a lot of money. We can't relive that.
Let's just say a minus 30 to a plus 50-ish, maybe plus 60. We'll just say it was a 90 swing. That game closed. That was our last 54 or more, or more than 54 closing total. That was 54.5, and that did not get there. Most of these games.
Zev asks what the Lions' backup quarterback situation is like. I saw this before the game. Teddy Bridgewater's the backup tonight.
Hey, as long as we have, do you know who Zev Bellringer is, by the way?
I do. Yes, I'm aware.
Is it someone I know?
Oh, Zev in the chat, I don't know who Zev is in the chat.
Is Zev Bellringer an actual person, and this is someone that's using them as their moniker?
Google Zev Bellinger.
Bell ring.
Bellringer. My bad.
Yeah. Well, it's not spelt the same way, right? I don't know.
Zev Bellringer.
Yeah.
Zev Bellringer. Well, that's a unique look. It's a fictional character from the sci-fi series
Lex
with 2 X's.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with that. Wow. All right.
This is how the SGPs don't get there, by the way. Goff getting hurt. He got fucking destroyed in the chin on that. Like, he got hit hard.
Oh, the backup is in.
Teddy Two Gloves.
Oh. Teddy Two Gloves put on 40 pounds?
He looks bigger, doesn't he?
He looks way bigger. Whoa. Maybe it's the hair. He's got very thick hair.
Could be. Does he really need the gloves indoors? I wonder. I mean, it's his thing, though.
It's his thing. Yeah.
It's his thing.
The minute you don't, it all goes to hell.
Yeah.
You know? I would do what the Lions are doing and give Gibbs the ball 50 times here between now and the end of this game. I don't love the idea of Teddy Two Gloves being the guy, despite the fact that that was a nice little conversion.
Goff helmet back on. Goff helmet back on, walking out to the sidelines. So I actually think live over is good. 73.5. I think this is the best number you're going to get. It looks like he's coming back.
What was it? What was the number when we were kind of scratching our heads? It seems
78.5 was what, and we're going to get a huge play right now. Maybe a touchdown by the Lions.
Well, it was 60.5 when we were like, God, that feels low. Wasn't it 60.5? Or am I dreaming?
It was.
Wait, let me check my account. It was 60.5. That was the number. Amazing.
Jamison Williams touchdown. Rushing touchdown. 61 yards.
Are you shitting me?
I'm not shitting you. This game will haunt me for the amount of times I have missed by this much betting a total. It's okay. De'Ami Brown is saving us, and I'm actually going to bet De'Ami Brown, I think, again this upcoming draft. But I'm going to I'm going to get greedy and play De'Ami Brown.
You know what yeah. I mean, this is a pure uncut crystal meth type of football.
Oh yeah.
This is what the people on Saturday night want.
This is exactly what the people want. This is what the people want.
You know what the people don't want? The Mahomes-Kelsey bromance with Taylor Swift cameos and Caitlin Clark cameos. I shit you not. Lovely woman, 80-year-old neighbor at our house for our little social gathering. You know who she knows? She knows Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
She knows Caitlin Clark.
Really?
Yes. She's very key on. She's like, Caitlin Clark, she's the one with the stalker. It's like, yes, she's the one with the stalker. That's right. And she knows Travis Kelce and Caitlin Clark date. I'm sorry, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift date. My bad.
Right.
Wow.
God forbid.
Yeah. Yikes. Someone at some point was like, oh, where's what's going on? Like, where's Brittany Mahomes? And she jumped right in. Oh, she just had a baby. It's like, okay, so this is the demographic who the NFL has brought in with the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, bromance. That's incredible. You know what else cracked me up though? I didn't know she was a fan of or a consumer of any deep dive content. I was almost embarrassed when this happened. But Jason Kelce comes on TV at halftime.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, yeah, that looks like Andy. I was like,
wow.
Who?
You had no idea.
What?
I mean, I would be confused too. Yeah.
Andy who? Someone in our neighborhood? Like, no, your guy. Oh yeah. It does kind of look like Andy. But yeah.
That's it.
Anyway, it was cold. He was wearing a bucket hat. It was Andy-esque.
Classic Andy. Oh, classic Andy. Hopefully she wasn't tuning in to see the pictures of him hang gliding or whatever that was. You know what I'm talking about. Big package, Andy.
Yes, it was ziplining, I want to say.
Ziplining is what it is. Yeah, definitely ziplining. Got to run that through a like a Photoshop type of thing to see. Make sure
John
that
Weedman
wasn't Photoshop.
doesn't like my vamping. He wants analysis. John, we've been telling you to bet the over for 40 minutes, man. what else do you want from us? Like,
live total 79.5 right now. I think still too low. Actually, he's getting bet up right now. As literally as I just clicked to bet 79.5 minus 115, it got hit to minus 132. It is one of those games right now. I can't believe I am here in the second. I will say Washington's, it's in their best interest to prolong this drive as much as possible because they get the ball to start the second half. So if they could get into the locker room with the lead and then get the ball, that would be enormous for them.
I'm going to disagree with you.
Okay.
If I'm Washington, I want to continue to press explosive. Mm-hmm. I do not want to ask my offense to shift down.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm like, I see. What
I know
your
point is fair. Like strategically, if you could, yes. But I also, with this young team and sort of the way they found themselves surprised, you're up 10, right? Like, I think you want to keep that energy up. I don't think you want to ask them to change their identity.
Well, they're going deep. And we got it. We got a deep ball inside the 10 to De'Ami Brown. De'Ami Brown is all over it.
The key question is De'Ami Brown wide receiver 2 on the Commanders, or is he wide receiver 2 in the NFL?
I got to tell you,
De'Ami Brown or Tyreek Hill?
Jaden Daniels is playing amazing right
he
now.
Looks
that
incredible.
Was an absolute dart.
You
could not put that in a better spot. I mean, 13 of 19, 238. That is an absurd first half.
Wow.
Absurd first half.
Do you think if he doesn't catch that, they get the road team no PI? There was a lot of contact. He got his freaking face mask.
Yeah, I will say in real time, it didn't feel that way, though. On the replay, it did, for sure. Real time, it felt like it was thrown into good,
bang,
good coverage. Yeah. So, but it on the replay, it was definitely PI. Most definitely.
So we agree that they don't get the call, right? If the face mask causes him to drop that football, he's not getting the
in Detroit,
he's not getting the look.
Prime time.
Not getting the look.
He's not getting.
Did you feel, by the way, out of curiosity, since we're on commercial and there's no analysis to provide, did you feel like, like I think KC Houston was pretty neutrally reffed. At times, it felt a little ticky tack, but the calls they made were like they were real. The only call that I thought they clearly missed was the spot where they got the first down, and then they got the procedural penalty, but then they got the first down anyway. So who cares? But
also Ryans could have challenged that. Like he did.
Yeah, I don't know.
He chose not to challenge that. So that was a bad call. But like the ones that are more egregious are the ones where you don't even have the opportunity to challenge.
Surely.
Right?
But like ticky tack hold, it gets called. Ticky tack hold, it gets called. Yeah. Right? Like they were not getting necessarily a friendly, like let them play kind of a whistle. Yeah. They were being penalized for all of the small stuff, I thought. And so it makes it tough to complain. Is that your read?
Says you always lose spot challenges. You usually do. This one was very obvious.
This one
very obvious. They would have won that challenge.
Like, and actually, like specifically,
they don't never
with the primary with the primary camera shot, especially where it was like knee down, ball.
They had the sideline view of exactly where the knee was, where the ball was in relation. That was getting overturned.
That one was getting overturned in the same way that I thought the challenge the Chiefs made was bad and correctly call upheld. You know, but yeah, Ryan should have challenged. He didn't. But otherwise, that was a fair call.
I thought the Chiefs got the benefit of the whistle, but I try to think about it everything as impartially as possible, right? The first hit to Mahomes on Will Anderson, the ref is standing behind Mahomes, right?
Yeah.
That's his viewpoint. He sees Anderson go high. He sees Mahomes' head go back. Unless you have you can overturn it on review, that's what's going to get called. Like, don't go high. I appreciate that he may have grazed his neck first or his chest first before the head, but like, don't go high. You're putting yourself in a bad position. It's the same thing as the other roughing where Mahomes slides late. Okay, fine. You can tackle a guy on the ground where you don't have to go at his head. Like, they kept focusing on the broadcast like these Texans players hit each other. Well, no, the first Texans player hit Mahomes in the head. They also contacted each other. Now, it's a late slide. I get it. But, Ian, that call cannot be overturned with assist. It can only be overturned if there actually wasn't contact on the quarterback. But if there is contact, they have to keep the call. Cannot be overturned with assist.
Two real quick things for you. Given the Commanders' red zone ineptitude, are you worried? Should I be worried? What is happening here? How do you do this? Can we get a makeup call? They played that freaking replay of the face mask that wasn't called PI 5 times. Like, surely someone sent down you guys missed it. You guys missed this one. Doesn't matter, but you missed it.
Yep.
Are we really not gonna get this touchdown? I cannot believe that this offense is so good. Otherwise,
I imagine this is going to be 4-down territory for Quinn. I wouldn't be surprised if they run on third.
If they lose yardage, though, it's probably not, right? They're at the 5.
It doesn't matter because they're in the end zone. Zachariah Ertz, the prophet Zachariah. Hello.
Okay.
They can't. The Lions.
I rescind all of my.
The Lions can't stop guys right now. They can't. The Lions need to steal a possession in this game.
Wow.
This is the game I've been waiting for forever. I've been waiting for it. It happened with the Bills, but since then, it's like I don't know how the Lions defense survives. I don't. They don't have personnel to play.
You know who we should have listened to on this? Dan Campbell. When he went for it at the end of the game on Thursday, December 5th against the Packers, instead of just, taking the lead. He was like, no, taking the lead's not good enough. I need to take the lead and take the clock to 0 or we're losing. Right? Like, that was a sign. And the fact that they held the Vikings to 9 last week was a Darnold commentary.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, I guess maybe it was a little bit of a Glenn commentary, because congratulations for Glenn to figure out ways to scheme pressure up the middle and make him stare at him.
Yeah.
Well, but you can't do that to Daniels.
Driley Max says Aaron Glenn should have taken a job before this game. I will say lots of teams get blown out and still coaches still get head coaching jobs afterwards. So, my lovely wife has brought me a tea here. My voice is shot.
I got a prediction for you.
Yep.
If Aaron Glenn does not get a job this cycle, which seems likely,
yep,
I think the Lions probably have a top 5 defense or top 1 defense next year, and he gets one next year. So I don't think that's really like a big deal, right?
You think?
Like
they are going to get a lot of players back next year.
They overperformed their personnel so much this year, and they're going to load more personnel if they lose a game like this. Like, they just go, well, fuck, we got to spend more money on the defense, right? And so you get guys back, plus you get an injection of free agent talent. Like, this defense could be utterly stupid next year, and I think he'll get a look then. Could go the other way though.
It could.
I never felt like they were top 3 this year, but then every advanced stat in the book said they were. I never really got it.
Yeah. Chambers says this is even more of an endorsement of KOC for Coach of the Year. What are your thoughts on that?
I am against him in that market, so I'm biased.
Yeah.
I feel like He doesn't deserve it.
I
feel like
agree.
this is another one where in 5 years we're like, can you believe that happened? Do you know who the coach of the year was 5 years ago off the top of your head? I'm sure it was somebody who's fired or someone who would have a good belly laugh about Ron Rivera or something.
Yeah,
like that.
Ron Rivera does. Yeah,
he won it twice.
I know.
The coach of the year is a quiet kiss of death on the forehead to a degree. And so in that regard, KOC winning.
Well, 5 years ago was
right.
John Harbaugh, so not the best example.
John Harbaugh. Oh, that was Lamar Jackson, really.
14-2 Ravens. The year before that was Matt Nagy, though. So that.
Oh, well, he's still around.
Matt Nagy, Jason Garrett won in 2016. Ron Rivera 2015. Bruce Arians won twice. 2012.
Who won after Harbaugh?
Stefanski won.
That was his first of two.
Stefanski, Vrabel, Dayball, Stefanski.
Does it feel congruous that the Browns have had no success as a franchise, but Stefanski's won 2 coaches of the year? It's weird. Anyway,
I know.
Anyway,
the thing that bothers me about the KOC Campbell thing, and again, I'm not invested in either, so I'm just telling you how I see it. People, the criteria is who did the best job as a head coach. Like, that's simple, right? People are looking too much at past criteria and saying, well, it always goes to the guy who, improved the most year over year. It's like, yeah, but the Lions lost the entirety of their defense this season, and they still ended up with the number 1 seed in the NFC. Like, how can you not think that that's worth something? That to me is an unreal coaching job, independent of playoffs. Like, eventually it's going to catch up to them not having defensive players. But I don't know. I think people just got so obsessed with looking at past coach of the years. It's like, these are the criteria. You have to win this many games. Your team won less than this the year before. That's not the way it works. That's fine from a betting perspective. That's not how we vote on them.
What's especially funny about this? I just had a conversation with the guy who makes awards markets, very heavily invested. We were talking about NBA Coach of the Year.
Yep.
And I was literally like, if you put the NFL voters on the task of vote for an NBA coach, they wouldn't pick the guy who ends up winning NBA Coach of the Year.
Right.
Like, the mentality is different of who you reward between the NFL and the NBA, which is so bizarre, right? Like, in the NFL, it's like there's like this weird anchoring and entrenchment mentally of when you start to think about who to vote for, you start with, well, who am I especially surprised by, right? Like, ooh, I know so much about the NFL and I was wrong on this team. And I need to make amends by giving that coach an award.
Right.
Like, that's such a weird mentality, but that's the NFL awards voter. The NBA awards voters, like, if you didn't get a top 2 seed, you better have done something pretty special. Like, you need to have won 55 games and you need to have taken a group that we knew was good but didn't know they could do that, and that is like the who gets consideration there, which is wild. It's just a different world.
I'm gonna fire a live bet really quickly. Receiving props market, I'm betting Olamide Zaccheaus under 11.5 receiving yards. Live market right now. So that's a go for anyone out there. My injury bot just picked something up that I don't know is out there yet, but he's been on the sidelines nursing a groin injury right now. And he can't beat Brian Branch when he's fully healthy, let alone with a groin. That's our injury signal.
Oh, okay.
It's a go.
I thought maybe that was the siren signaling that my live 51 is already home.
Yeah, that too.
For halftime.
For halftime. They got it right.
For halftime. We are also ahead, as you would be curious to know. We are ahead of the Rams Chiefs. That game had 46 points scored at halftime. We are currently at 52 and counting.
Yes.
We might get another one here.
Yes.
Let me make a market for you.
Yep.
33, third. This drive ends in a touchdown. This drive ends in a field goal. This drive ends on downs.
I don't.
Pretty tough market.
That is a tough market. It's a good one too. So you're setting them all as equal lines.
Yeah. I have no idea what happens here.
Neither do I. I almost feel like it's not ending on a field goal. I feel like
that does seem like the least likely.
Right? How many timeouts does Detroit have? They have one timeout.
Like this ends in a field goal if it's literally like 2nd and goal from the 13 or something. Right?
It ended in an interception.
I didn't even have it on the board.
It wasn't on the board.
House does it again. They do this all the time where they don't offer the field and then it goes to the field. And you're like, you didn't even know you were betting into an infinite hold market.
I got to tell you, lines are still very live in this game, but I am greatly enjoying. I am greatly enjoying this.
Oh, yeah. This is awesome. This is awesome. Great. Amazing. You know what? I am not sad I didn't hear the commentary from Tom Brady about that play. Have you been listening to Tom Brady much?
I have. So like nowadays, everybody's got to have like a strong opinion one way or the other on everything. And sure. I'm just like, Brady's okay. I think he adds some elements to the game. Sometimes he's a little bit too bland and he says, I'm not like
politician Rob.
I don't get triggered when like there's certain guys I get triggered when I hear them talk. Like Jonathan Vilma, that guy, he sends me into like outer space when I'm hearing Vilma talk. Brady's fine. He's okay. Like that's my opinion of Brady.
Okay. Well, I got a boogie. It is officially halftime. I can't believe that drive ended on an interception after that. But yeah. Best
Typical Drew didn't offer a market, of course.
Let's get to 106 points and call it a night, huh? Or at least 105. That doesn't seem like too much to ask. All right. Take care, guys.
All right. Later, Drew. Drew Dinsick, everyone. Whale Capper. Make sure you check him out. Great dude. I love that. And he says people were saying Goff was better than Jane. I don't think Ian was saying Goff was better than Daniels. I think he just like offered up another name. I'll defend him a little bit there. The KOC stuff, I'm not subtweeting TA. If you actually ask TA, he would tell you that he thinks Campbell's going to win Coach of the Year now. We talked about this on the night, in the last game of the regular season, Vikings and Lions. I didn't see the kneel down. Was there a kneel down? I didn't watch a kneel down. How much time was left in the half?
There was a kneel down.
22 seconds
oh my God.
In the half. 3 timeouts.
I've just been going like this the whole time watching the game. My hair is all over the place. But oh well, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. The offense is doing really well. I think they could have pushed the envelope a little bit, probably with 3 timeouts. They were at their own 14, though. It would have been tough. I'm kind of indifferent on it. Indifferent on it altogether. What a half, man.
That's crazy. It's absurd.
Gonna need 200 Goff in the second half. If Goff can hit 200 yards in the second half,
live, very, very live.
I mean, we're live. We're live. This is what we were hoping for at the half.
Yes.
We're hoping to have a chance. The Army Browns making a catch on every drive, and we just,
that wasn't a factor in the pregame, but whatever, we'll take it.
So just to let people know, if Zacchaeus is not back second half, you would see Jamison Crowder get upgraded, but a lot of books don't carry receivers who are not in the game until they actually start to get into the game. So Crowder would be a guy, maybe like Luke McCaffrey will get a few snaps. I doubt it, but Crowder's the biggest beneficiary of Zacchaeus being out. Although it probably just means De'Ami Brown gets even more targets, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
What price do you need to bet on the Lions right now? And do you have any teasers with the Lions?
No, I don't have teasers with the Lions. What price would I need to bet the Lions?
Right now.
So Washington's going to get the ball to start the second half. There was 7 possessions for the Lions in that first half. I'd probably need plus 175 or so.
It was 174, right? Like when I asked you, but it wicked down to 164 now.
Okay.
So someone probably agrees with you.
Okay. Well, 164. Hey, listen, if you want Lions live, I'm just going to bet Stab Pro here. Yeah. FanDuel has the best price on the Lions.
Yeah.
So if you want Lions, that's the spot, period. I'm not saying it because they're the sponsor. I'm saying it because they have the best price at plus 164. I would need more than that personally. He's got to come in for one more snap. Yeah.
Wait, why for Zacchaeus?
Yes. If you play a live line,
and he doesn't get a snap after that, it
Correct.
gets voided. Oh, I didn't realize
Yes.
that. Wow. Interesting.
The handicap is this. He's nursing a groin injury now,
yeah,
and he's got the best corner on the other side.
Yeah.
Branches shut him down all game.
And maybe he goes out, he gets one snap to test it out, and he doesn't feel it, and he sits for the rest of the game. That's all you need.
Bingo.
Hey, maybe Kanish was right about. There it is about Dan Campbell.
Maybe he was. I hope he was right about Dan Campbell.
Commander Burger.
Just so much pain for Lions fans in the first. I do feel bad for them, man. I get it as a Cowboys fan. Feel bad for franchises that lose, but I got to root for your betting interests every now and then. Let's bring Clive in here, and we'll talk a little second half. Mr. Bixby, how are things?
Going on? I'm enjoying the shit out of this.
Mm-hmm. You look cold.
Yeah, we're about to get a big snowstorm, or at least big from Jersey too.
Yeah,
took the dog out.
Yeah, we got some snow this afternoon, but it wasn't too bad, which is good. But it's just going to get really cold. Like I honestly, what Baltimore Buffalo is going to be played in tomorrow from a temperature perspective, that's cold. That's going to be a cold game. Like
no desire.
You do not want to tackle someone in that type of weather, man. Your hands get fucking numb. Oh, it's rough.
Like, what's your minimum? You're a fan. What's the minimum temperature you need to want to go to the game, even if it's a playoff? Does it matter? Like, would you go to a Bills game if you're a Bills fan? Okay, 20 below.
So I'll do the convert. I've seen Toronto FC play 2 MLS Cups in Toronto, which happened in December, and the temperature was -2 Celsius, which would be 35 Fahrenheit. And that by the end of those games, I was frozen. You're standing still. You wear 2 pairs of socks and boots, but it doesn't matter. Your feet freeze. You're just, it's tough. You try to go in at the half, but everyone's trying to get in the washroom at the half because that's where the heaters are. It's bad. That's kind of like the cutoff for me. I don't want to be much worse than that. I'm soft. Listen, I call it out for what it is. You remember that Miami KC game? Was it last year or 2 years ago? First round, Miami KC. That game, like that's like frostbite territory if you're there for the whole game. These are insane people going to those games. Nuts. No thanks.
You see some of the Buffalo fans like with their shirts off for the entire game too. Like, I don't know how you're not dead, honestly, like of hypothermia. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
I've done some cold games. Probably around 30 is the worst, but 30 with precipitation is miserable. I did that once.
Mojal caught me. I typed this into Google. I don't know. I thought the browser was wrong. It is 28 Fahrenheit, was -2 Celsius. So yeah, that's kind of the cutoff for me. Let's say like 30. Yeah. I mean, that KC temperature was absurd. Absurd. Second half here, we got some good positions going. Props wise, gonna lose. Already lost Gibbs under. Goff completions, provided he doesn't leave the game with injury or anything like that, we are in decent position. St. Brown, 3 receptions. We need him to hit 7 receptions in the game there. Not the best pregame stuff. We'll try to make it up live. What do you think is going to go on here second half, Clive? Washington's getting the ball first.
Yeah. How many timeouts did they have left when they did that kneel down? I know there was
3.
around 20 seconds left. They did have all 3.
Just 22 seconds. They were on their own 14-yard line, and they had 3 timeouts.
I guess I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, how many plays do you really have time for?
Right. If it were me, I probably would have even just run a play, like a draw play. You know, I would have done
that too.
Yeah, and see what you get out of the first play. Who knows? Maybe you get 10 yards, you burn a timeout. I think that would have been more logical than kneeling it out. But they just wanted to get in the half up double digits. They get the ball to start. Detroit can't get a pass rush going. They can't cover anyone. I saw someone ask in the chat, well, do they just move Brian Branch over to De'Ami Brown? Branch plays in the slot, so he's just going to take whoever's in the slot. And as long as they keep Brown and McLaurin on the outside, he's not going to really play there if they're going to keep playing man. And they've been playing man all year, so I don't know. It'll be an interesting second half here.
Yeah, I mean, even for like the next drive, I kind of want to take the Commanders to score. Like, punt on FanDuel is plus 130. Do we really think that?
No, that's a bad. We can't bet punt at plus 130. That's it.
No, of course not.
We're like lunatics,
right?
Punt.
So some of the other either touchdown or field goal attempt are probably better for what we would be looking at.
Yeah. Touchdown. I mean, I don't even. How is Washington might attempt a field goal at some point? I almost feel like we should just do a what's Detroit's 8th drive result offensive touchdown is minus 135.
Yeah, so this is where I think any other, because that counts, turnover on downs count there.
I like this. Washington offensive touchdown, Detroit any other. That's 2 legs and it's 10-1. We can get greedy and add a leg if we want to here.
You could add a catch person.
I know. I almost feel like we should just keep riding De'Ami Brown. Add Brown to the mix. I'm going to play these I'm going to play this as a 10-1. And then, I'm going to play it as 10-1. And then I'm going to add Brown and play it 23-1.
All right, let's see what I'm going to do here. Is Drunken Goon in the chat? There he is. Goon, thank you. What you sent me worked to fix my location services issue on both of my laptops. So
I didn't realize Drunken Goon was in IT as well.
Fucking
thought he was just a bookmaker back in the day and now better. But
and I don't understand why it worked, but it fucking worked. So
yeah.
Okay, let's
if you're going to a cold outdoor game, just put your clothes in a pizza oven before you go. I mean, sure,
option.
You're going to cool down fairly quickly.
I mean, they have to have clothes now, or like outdoor weather clothes that have almost like electric heat built into it somewhere, like gloves, socks, I would imagine.
Yeah. And you can also, you can get like the skiing, the things that you just shake up or crunch and you put them in your gloves and in your shoes and they provide some heat. I do that, but like just standing kills you, man. It really does. You just no movement kills you.
Yeah. I think like golf, I used to be willing to play it right around 45 degrees. So what's that? Probably roughly 10 degrees Celsius, maybe a little less. I can't do it anymore, though.
I can play in that weather. No problem. What the hell do I know about cooking a shirt, huh? I love that episode. That's the calzones.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one where he has like the pennies and the coins too?
That's the one.
Yep. Yeah.
That is the one. What the hell do I know about cooking a shirt, huh? Oh, man.
Yeah.
No, I didn't miss it. It wasn't the proper context for me. It wasn't the proper context. I don't want to. I watched that episode like a few days ago.
Yeah.
Electric clothes sounds like a bad idea if it rains. Oh, man. The only downside of that first half was that it's quite long.
It was.
But I'll sacrifice for both teams getting 300 plus yards in the first half. Detroit 9.4 yards per play. Washington 8.0.
Jaden Daniels has looked really good too.
He has.
And Goff, like way better than Goff. I mean,
Well, he hasn't turned it over. He's been incredibly accurate. Incredibly accurate.
When Goff got leveled, I wasn't sure if he was going to come back in the game.
Neither did I, honestly. I'm surprised. He got one right on the chin, man. You can't accuse that guy of having a glass jaw. He took a real shot there.
No, that looked like a WWE almost, like just absolutely getting hammered.
Yeah. All right, let's get a Commies touchdown.
Yeah, let's do that.
Commies touchdown.
I'm looking at the live board too to see if there's an SGP that I like.
I read that this was the worst. Sorry, not the worst. The most expensive ticket price in the history of the Detroit Lions. I think the cheapest tickets were like $800 going into this game.
Wow. That's not entirely surprising.
No, I agree. There's a lot of expectation or belief that this is the year.
I think the NFC is damn near out to lunch. So, did I think Detroit had the best chance to get through the NFC? Yes, but I certainly thought the Commies were live. I couldn't get myself to pull the trigger on either the Commies money line or an alt line because I thought about it.
Yeah.
Long and hard.
Oh, sorry. Average price. My bad. Sorry, Christopher. That makes a lot more sense. Still, that's an average price of $800. That's a hefty ticket.
Yeah. Hello, Aaron Andrews. You were definitely indoors.
Yes. Much more noticeable. Dan Campbell says turnovers are absolutely hurting them. No shit, Dan.
Never would have guessed.
Yep.
Never would have guessed. All right, so who do you have to catch a pass this drive?
De'Ami Brown. Starts with like a 15-yard run up the middle this drive. Oof.
So you're a little ahead of me, but not much.
Okay, what do you got for play clock right now?
36, 35,
okay.
34.
I'm going to stop it at fuck. I was going to say 20, but it came off the board. We'll figure out a way that we can get synced up. I'll go like a little bit back. Brian Branch is so good.
Just stay the fuck away from him. Like, he's like the last man standing on that defense is what it feels like.
I'm stopped at 24.
Okay. 28, 27, 26, 25, 24.
All right. I might still be a second ahead. I got a little bit, did a premature play.
This has been a fun game to watch.
Yeah. It'll only be fun, though, for me if Washington wins. Oh, there's some pressure. There's actual pressure in his face now. It's going to be a 3rd and long. Maybe the punt was the play.
Oh. All right, no flag.
I'll pause for like another 2 seconds here because I think I'm a couple seconds ahead of you still.
All right, where are you at? Play clock.
21, 20, 19.
It's 1 second. Who cares?
Okay. All right. We're back in business.
Oh, that Cliff 4th down play earlier, I don't know what the fuck that was. I know what they were trying.
Yeah, I agree.
Was this procedure penalty?
It seems like they whistled it dead, no?
I thought so.
No, it's illegal. 4th down, punting situation.
Wow.
Okay. We do, Jeffrey, but did we want to take the punt At that price, we could not take the punt at that price.
But also in a game with in the first half, they scored 52 points. Like how can we take a punt? Was there a punt in the first half? Was there one punt?
Yes, there was. There was
Was
one
one,
punt.
only one, or was there?
This is the second punt of the game.
That's crazy,
and it's a good one too.
Yeah, nice bounce.
Yeah, yeah. That's the second punt of the game. Detroit looks like they're sending way more pressure to start the second half. And it looks like they're going to just leave guys in coverage on the outside.
Well, I think Cliff's going to be able to. I think he's got some plays in his bag for this, so should be fine.
We think Goff's got another turnover in him, or what?
Oh, I do. Absolutely. I don't like the idea of having Goff as my quarterback if I'm down 2 scores. I'm a big Goff pumpkin person, though. Not that I'm in the minority, I'm sure, but he strikes me as not much different from Sam Darnold, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. I mean, he's made some throws. Darnold was that was abysmal. Darnold was abysmal.
Yeah. But when's the last time you saw anybody get that kind of pressure on Goff? Even though I understand that Darnold definitely was holding the ball too long in a lot of those situations. But, I mean, the amount of hurries Goff gets versus what, the offensive line for Minnesota was given up towards the end of the year is definitely different.
Yeah. Yeah. Touchdown in my pants says Goff will also keep chucking. Yes, he will.
Good. I like that look. Plus 152 for another Goff interception. That's I actually really like that.
I almost wanted to play another Goff, another Washington defensive touchdown, but you rarely get the prices to make those worthwhile.
And if it happens towards the end of the game too, they might just fall on it too and just be a little bit more cautious.
True.
What's the second half line for the Commanders' total points? 10.5? That's it? This can't be right. Is this right? How much time did they just take off the clock?
2 minutes. It feels wrong, doesn't it?
It does. Because I don't think this is – I think
you could bet live over 41.5 for Washington at plus money, plus 106.
Yeah.
Oh.
I actually believe that too, Zev. If the Commandos lose this game, I think it's going to be Kingsbury. I kind of agree with that. I don't know that Quinn's going to get ultra conservative if he gets a lead. I don't think he will. I think he knows he needs to still put the pedal to the metal against this type of offense.
Wow, what a run by Montgomery, man. What an incredible run that was.
I was about to say, I don't know if that would be – I'd be trying to get the ball in Gibbs' hands more and more, but okay. Oh, they're showing this play again. Jesus Christ, he got shucked.
He got destroyed.
I respect it. 18 dropbacks, 9 pressures. This was a slow developing play. Oh, man.
I mean, I see the comment. There was the comparisons in the chat about Goff and Darnold. Lord McD says Goff led his team to the Super Bowl. He's not Darnold. I mean, that year they had the bye. Did the Rams have the bye? I'm trying to remember who they played first round. I know they beat the Cowboys first game. I think they had the bye. That was before they went to 7 teams. 2 teams got the bye. Yeah, they beat the Cowboys, and then they beat the Saints in the most bullshit of fashions. There's a blown penalty late in the game in that, or else the Saints.
Was that the DPI game?
Yeah. And then the Super Bowl was pathetic. So I don't know about him leading the team there. I think that's a little bit overstated. Point taken, though, that he did get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, if you recall...
I remember it more this way.
Yeah,
Defense led the Rams.
Agreed. He had to get to the line before, like, so McVay could read the defenses for him.
Yeah.
Oh, big loss. Oh my God. I think that's a face mask. Or is it a hold?
Where it came from, it looks like it would have been a hold.
I thought the way that the tackle looked. Yeah, fuck.
Ah.
I could tell by the way he went down there. Man, they had him dead to rights. Dead. That's not a face mask. Horrible call. Horrendous
No,
call.
not even close. I'm like, I don't see anything
horrendous
near that.
call.
That's why how does that call come from the back? That's why I thought it was a holding penalty, because how can you even see that? Just because his head turns, like you're going to call that a face mask? That was fucking horrible.
Horrendous. I wonder if Twitter will be in as much of a shitstorm about that one as they were about Mahomes getting it.
Of course not. I mean, I get that the Chiefs are like the heels now, but I kind of do appreciate the greatness more than I want to root for them to lose.
I don't really. I want the Chiefs to win because I'll win money if the Chiefs win, but that's about it. At the end of the day, they have to figure this out. Like, we can watch a replay 10 seconds later, and we can all see it's not a face mask. How can someone not just call down and say pick up the flag? I don't understand how that can't happen.
I mean, on something that clear too. Like, there's no there's nothing to interpret.
No. 5 run plays, man. This is the 4. No, it's 5. Yeah, there was an incomplete to Laporta. So 4 straight run plays.
Is this what's the right way to say this? Is this now an effort to try and keep your defense off the field if you're Detroit and like start to lower the variance?
I think it's not trusting Goff, honestly. I think it's St. Brown, big catch.
That was good.
Yeah, I think it's just like good matchup in the run game. They think they can still run the ball. They don't trust Goff, type of thing.
I get that.
I mean, having a linebacker on St. Brown in the open field, probably not going to work out all that often.
Not ideal. That is probably not good defensive scheming. It feels like a lot of the people that I see that complain about the Mahomes shit too are really just like bitter New England fans that are so desperate for Brady to keep his legacy.
Right.
Same kind of shit that you see like in the NBA side of things with the LeBron Jordan shit. Like,
yeah,
I can't stand that discourse. It drives me nuts.
Agreed. The Chiefs don't even look good. Am I crazy? What is there to appreciate? I don't know. Like, we reward winning in sports.
Yeah.
You'd appreciate a run that's well above average in terms of winning. Patriots didn't look good in every run. That Rams Super Bowl was a joke, honestly. They looked terrible. They won. We remember them for winning it.
Yeah.
That's it. Can't appreciate that, then I don't know what you can appreciate.
And I mean, I thought the defense was pretty good today.
Yeah, that's another. Well, so very much bend but don't break, I would say today. Houston was getting some yardage, but they just couldn't. They just bogged down basically every time. Every time.
Yeah. The kicking situation wasn't great. I think if you were Houston better today.
That too. It was funny when they said they asked Fairbairn before the game, like what his going in one specific direction, like what his range was. Oh wow, what a trick play!
Oh
wow, that was Montgomery that passed it.
I like that.
I'll take that. I have St. Brown over receptions, so more we can get. Yeah, McNabb shit the bed in one of those Super Bowls. He's fucking blowing chunks in the huddle at the end of the game.
I mean,
wow, that's a good. See, like, that's just such a good play.
Yeah.
Hard not
I
to
don't know that
appreciate.
I've ever seen that play design before. That was impressive.
Yeah.
Who's the odds-on favorite to land Bet Johnson right now? Is there one?
I'm not sure, honestly. I'm not sure. I thought Lattimore might have got a face mask on Gibbs there too.
That one looked more like a face
That
mask
was
too
close.
in real time.
Yeah. Mitch, we don't reward the teams with the best analytics in sports. They play the games. How many years did the Patriots outperform expectations? We view them as the greatest teams ever, basically. Like, I don't even know what we're arguing here anymore. They win games. The Kansas City Chiefs win games. And there's something to appreciate about that type of run.
Yeah, and it's not like Mahomes isn't putting up like fucking crazy EPA
No.
in the playoffs every year.
Yeah. Well, that's the touchdown.
Yeah.
That's the touchdown. Yeah, the Giants Super Bowl. Like, there's so many we could point to in years past where it, like, wasn't pretty. The point is that they are consistently winning.
Yeah, and do you ever feel like it's like the level of doubt that you feel even when Mahomes is down 2 touchdowns? There's very little doubt. Like, you just expect that to still turn around and be a win.
And like, we talk about Josh Allen being a great quarterback. We talk about Lamar Jackson being a great quarterback. Like, not all-time great, but like getting close to there with how well the regular season. Those guys will never are struggling to sniff a Super Bowl because of the Chiefs. And only the Chiefs, no one else.
Agreed.
It's pretty simple.
The Chiefs are the bottleneck. They are it.
Yeah.
Lions are live favorites now in the game.
And I mean, like, even the Chiefs Eagles Super Bowl when Mahomes is playing on like a completely bad, fucked up wheel and willed his team to win that. Like, I don't feel like that gets talked about anywhere near enough either. It's just, it's going to get to a point where it's going to get taken for granted. It probably already is.
Right. Oh, man. Commanders got to come out in this drive, and they got to anticipate that Detroit is going to send a ton of pressure. Run some screens, running back screens, take some shots one-on-one on the outside.
Yeah, screens, maybe roll out Jaden Daniels now and again. Yeah. Overload one side of the field. They'll be fine. Any other 470 for Wash? Only if you think there is a higher probability now that they're only down or they're only up a field goal that they're going to go for it more on 4th down and be more aggressive. I mean,
right.
I don't think that's necessarily a great price. What's the rest of that drive looking like for prices? Popular.
We're definitely going to all remember the face mask call. It's going to be a talking point if the Lions win the game. There's no way around it. There's a bad call, team wins the game, it is a talking point. Plain and simple. It's just the way the NFL works.
Punts 165, field goals 390, offensive touchdowns plus 185.
Right.
What's the live touchdown market looking like?
I've been looking. I have it open. I just haven't been able to find anything that I mean, we're coming back from break and they're showing that face mask. Wow, Leafs won 7-3. Checked and they were down 3-2. Hello.
Can we give Fezzik a little credit for under on the punts? What was his number?
6.5, like minus 170, something like that. Very good bet.
Yeah.
Very good bet.
I don't really like any of these touchdown score prices.
Oh, we got the hard-hitting questions here. How long is too long to wear a pair of jeans if you've not been to like an airport or bar or restaurant and sat on a public surface? It's a good question. I'll often wear jeans multiple times in a row.
Yeah, multiple uses.
I also I found out many years ago, I can't remember from where, but you're actually not supposed to wash your jeans all too often.
You're not.
Instead, what you're supposed to do is put them in the freezer.
All right, I didn't know that part.
Yeah.
Jeff is a trailblazer.
I'm dead serious.
There's no way. That can't
I'm serious. No, it was. Supposed to, I'm going to look this up.
That's not real.
I've heard about the not washing as often. I've not heard about the freezer.
I got to ask Jeff if he freezes his jeans.
You're not putting them in the oven or anything, just the freezer. Wow, they are sending Branch after Daniels, and Daniels made a big play. Branch
this is the perfect play call.
It really is. But they are committing to this now. There's going to be.
Well, they have to. You can't leave your guys on an island, so you either have to get pressure or not. So this is going to be like live by the sword, die by the sword kind of thing.
Yeah. If they can get one-on-one for these guys on the outside, could be a big play there.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking that they would do, is try and design some stuff like that. Somebody has to be open.
Yeah. Another Detroit defensive injury.
Jesus.
Can't tell who that is. I really don't know who that is. I didn't see the jersey name or anything like that.
Number 6. Yeah. Yeah, what's the other? I feel like there was something else that you're supposed to do with jeans. I don't know if it's like soak them or jeans maintenance. Wash once every 10 wears.
I'm telling you, I don't know where I learned to put the jeans in the freezer. All right, it is a thing.
Okay.
It is a thing. So it's multi-purpose, but it does help with longevity of the jeans. So it avoids the wear and tear of washing. It does kill most bacteria and eliminates all odors as well. And it preserves the denim's shape, color, and texture.
Hmm.
So it's there. Oh, that's wow. Daniels got smoked in the head, dude.
I was wondering what the penalty was. Holy shit.
Oh my God.
That was egregious. That feels like a little bit of a revenge hit.
Yeah.
That's like baseball. When you come back after you hit their guy, you gotta,
Got it.
little chin music.
100%. Got to take a shot the other way. Pedro Martinez would not accept that. I'll tell you that.
Oh, what a fucking douche he was. Oh. Being a Yankee fan was tough with him. When you had Clemens, you knew that they wouldn't mind, buzzing somebody or throwing a shattered bat at Mike Piazza. But,
Yeah.
Yankees eventually kind of got soft on that stuff.
Yeah. I'm going to bring Jason in for 1 second here. Going to have a quick break. Jason, you do your thing. I'll be back
Sounds
in 2
good.
minutes.
Sounds good.
What's up, Jason?
How's it going, Clive? How's your week been?
Oh, good week. Enjoying this, hoping that the Commanders manage to take down the Lions. That'll be fun.
I know, right? Like I had like a big no sweat thing. I was debating what to use it on, and I got really close to the Commanders, but I didn't, and I'm kind of regretting it right now, even though my other bet hit and it was at a better price. But I just wanted to sweat this game more. Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to tomorrow night's game too.
Oh, it's gonna be great. It's going to be great. Have you been betting the over at all in this game? Like, I don't know if you were tuning in before, but I like.
I was. I didn't pull the trigger on
60,
anything though.
When was that 65? I just kept clicking, and so.
It seems to be pretty steady in the low 80s now, which is fucking absurd.
It's settled, it seems, but it still feels like kind of low-ish, I guess, especially if they get this first down, which they did. I don't. What number do you need to bet under? Because it's like 83.5 juice pretty heavily under on FanDuel.
So they're at 61 now. And I'm sorry, 59. 59 now. And there's about 3 minutes left. And how many drives do I think that would be?
I feel like that's the issue. It feels like we saw so many explosives in that first half that really shortened the time of possession on each drive.
Yeah.
We haven't really seen that much this half or this quarter. So it's an interesting one.
Oh, I hate when this happens. I'm not going to say anything. This is one of the most frustrating things that ever happens when we're doing a watch along.
I can't wait for this.
I don't know what's going on.
All right, so nothing. So FanDuel popped up. I have that up on my other screen, and it's like play, fumble, and the play wasn't on TV yet, and it turned out not to be a fumble either.
It's just an error, eh?
There was nothing. And it's like sometimes when you're watching the live feed on the sports book, it's a bit of spoiler.
I see. It'll do it sometimes. It'll do that. It's a huge third down here.
Yeah, let's fucking go. No pressure. You got time. Good throw.
Wow. Is he not
I
down?
don't think he was down.
Wow. Are you kidding me? He landed on the defender? De'Ami Brown, hurry up. Run a play. Run a play.
Yeah, you fucking idiots. You guys got a first down out of this.
He's definitely down. He's definitely down. Run a play.
It's a challenge.
They're going to have to go.
Oh, he's definitely down.
100%.
Are they? Did they run a play or are they challenging it? I'm so far behind.
But we don't know what's happening. Branch is down on the ground. So I think the play is under review right now.
It is.
I'm pretty sure Branch is hurt as well. I don't know how this is happening to the Lions, man.
So this is where I was surprised.
doesn't do the same for I know it's not the same for defensive players, but I guess it kind of is. We were
Yep.
I mean, I was undering if Branch there too is staying down so that they can't run a play and a little bit of gamesmanship there.
Mm-hmm.
Smart.
I had no idea what that sound was, by the way, for a second. I'm like, where is this coming from? What the fuck is going on?
Yeah. It is what it is. I was thinking about it earlier, but it's not. If Washington were to win this game, it's really going to put Philly in the driver's seat in the NFC.
Yeah, what do you make that game in Philly?
What was the line a few weeks ago? I want to say I don't remember what it was specifically. I'm horrible with closing prices, by the way. Horrible.
Yeah, and I don't have an on screen up. Well, let me look.
Washington, Philly. That was the game where Hurts got concussed. Closed 3?
Yeah.
And that was at Washington?
Yeah, and the Commanders won by 3.
Yeah. Pickett game. It's probably so like where does the market have the Rams relative to the Commanders?
Feels like maybe the Commanders are half a point better, but maybe not.
Or in the same range.
Yeah,
don't
right
know.
in the same range. I don't think it's big either way, depending on what your ratings look like.
Probably be similar to this week's number then. 6.5, something like that. That's just off the top of my head. Not saying that's what I make the game.
Yeah. Oh, Commanders to go in Philly to win too. Oh, that would be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
All right, but let's get this fourth down first.
1 for 2 tonight. Big play.
Let's fucking go.
The one that they got stopped was that stupid Mariota play where he was like trying to pitch it to Daniels.
Yeah. And was that Brian Robinson that either got in the way or?
Yeah. Yeah. Robinson had no fucking clue what was happening there.
But because it was Mariota.
Come on. Go, Daniels. You got it.
Go.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, Arnold bit.
They did. They bit so hard. Honestly, great play design.
Yeah.
You should not be able to get Daniels into space like that. They really bit hard on that.
These are the types of things that are going to keep people honest.
The old
Great
naked
fucking
bootleg.
call.
They wouldn't have had any passing option there if the corner didn't bite on the run. Oh, this could be slow down.
Solid 7, looks like.
I still, Zacchaeus was in. Okay, there's a play with him in. Unders are back in play. It's still really weird for me to see Eckler in a Washington uniform. I don't know why.
I forget constantly that that's where he's at.
Yeah, it just, in my head, it just doesn't make sense.
Honestly, in my head, he retired. Like that's
yeah.
He feels like a different player on the Commanders. That it's like not the same. Obviously, like he's older, but he just has like negative aura on the Commanders. I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. I don't.
It's the most vibes thing like ever, but
it just does. In my head, it just doesn't make sense. I know that sounds really dumb, but I can't. Fourth quarter's coming up here. Oof.
All right. I love the fact that commies are still in the lead and this is still a game.
Mm-hmm. Well, good to see you, Clive. Enjoy the
You
game
as well.
tomorrow.
Talk soon.
All right.
Later, Nails.
Clive Bixby, everyone. I'm not a big tea guy. This Bengal spiced tea, it slaps. Absolutely slaps. Now, last night, I decided I'm going to get out of the house, go bowling with some friends, and in the process, missed a life-changing generational wealth opportunity to cash in on.
Pretty insane. I fumbled too. I've basically just accepted I'm gonna not be a part of any like on-chain tomfoolery, so I don't beat myself up for that. But jamming like Solana perps during all of it was like you could have really gotten real size with slippage and sized like huge. I got some on the morning pump today, but yeah, I wasn't even asleep or busy. I just froze, I guess. I don't know. It was late Costa Rica time.
I just didn't even know this was happening until I woke up this morning. Like
I knew it was happening like within 5 minutes. I mean, I saw it at I knew it was happening at like 300 million market cap.
Oh my God, man. These kinds of things upset me so much. I can't even tell you how much they upset me because it could literally be like 15 minutes of work and reap more dividends than I would do in like a year of sports betting.
Yeah. I mean, that's what like the last 2.5 months have been basically. It's going to get crazier though. I mean, We'll see. This is going to be an insane year, though.
Yeah. Well, what are you going to do? I'm sure another shit coin will come out soon enough that maybe I can attack. Got to make some sort of better's coin. Rug pull everyone. Rug pull all the nails, you know? If I ran a shit coin on the premise that whatever I make off of it, I was going to give back to charities, I think we could make a killing.
Maybe.
I would actually donate the money, to be clear, but it would be a
I'm not
very
getting
interesting
involved in this.
sociological
I mean,
experiment. It's like people
I'm
indirectly
never
donate.
going to be participating in any of this. I view trading them as like amoral, basically. Like there's markets, people can buy and sell. You can make or take different offers. My participation in that isn't really changing their existence, but the world would just be such a uncountably better place without them. And they discussed and upward.
I get it. Not only does Zach Ertz have no burst, he might have like negative burst.
He's so dust. This guy's insane. This team's this roster sucks. Like this guy is so good. Like
Daniels is
he's
real
really
deal.
working with nothing. Yeah, Daniels. It's crazy. I didn't really have an opinion. I came in very neutral to the season, but this wasn't even like the 99th percentile outcome for me. It's pretty crazy.
12 players on defense. Automatic first down. Wow. Dan Campbell, coach of the year. See you later.
Who 38? That was 38's fault.
Not good. Not great, Bob.
Do I need to root for anything?
I got Washington money line. It's not going to affect my day if they lose.
Okay.
It's just some good prices is all. I mean, it will affect my day. I'll win money. Would rather win money than lose.
Yeah.
I actually didn't make a bet on a side or a total this week. Not a single bet on a side or total.
We'll finally have a good game.
Yes. Okay. We're in.
Sorry, it's hard to be. I feel like I've only joined you in laughers for these before. This is like actually a good game. So
this is a real, honestly, every single time I have you on in the fourth quarter, the game is a joke. I'm just like lobbing questions at you. You're talking about like next week's college football games. It's like, this is the first time we've actually had a good game.
Yeah.
First time. Oh, man. I mean, I am going to get your opinion on the national championship on Monday at some point.
Okay.
That has to happen. The Nails are not going to let you go without giving an opinion on that. It's going to be a real dark day when it's Eagles-Chiefs Super Bowl, because every single major Twitter personality.
I'm thinking through pricing the Philadelphia right now.
Yeah.
Every Twitter personality, what?
Bet Eagles-Chiefs Super Bowl at the beginning of the year. Like everyone.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be insufferable. It's going to be insufferable. Oh.
They're at a pretty crazy level too right now. Their defense.
Comet says Baltimore-Washington Super Bowl will be fun. That'd be a rematch of earlier this year. They played in Baltimore. I think the Ravens won that game by a touchdown. Spread was 6.5. Ravens won by 7, if I recall.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the game. Daniels played well in that game. That was a tough road test. I mean, I do think Baltimore would get the better of them again. But you doing anything with Bills Ravens?
No, it seems like an unfixable, obvious matchup advantage for Baltimore, but I think it's at least priced in, if not more than priced in.
Yeah.
And yeah,
No. So I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I think the matchup advantage is priced in at this point.
Mhm.
I do think there is a path for Buffalo to strongly commit everyone to stop. Like Nose Flowers is a big deal for Baltimore's offense. They lose like a real explosive playmaker. You know, I don't like Buffalo's defense. I think that there's more of a path to success for them stopping the run than people tend to believe there.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to change a lot. I think they also, there's a little bit of their defense. If you look, I mean, this was like the earliest I've ever seen a team win a division, like in actuality, but also like pseudo won it. Like they more or less won the division after beating Miami the second time, which is like, might have been October, but like they literally like technically won the division in the San Francisco snow game, I'm pretty sure. And there was still some room to get the 1 seed and stuff. And obviously, I'm not saying they didn't try for 2 months or whatever it's been, 6 weeks. But there was a very obvious, at least the next week with the Rams, downtick in defensive intensity. And it kind of lasted for a lot of the year. And we know they were pretty vocal in saying the last 3 games, like they sort of knew they were.
Yeah.
Well, first off, they were going to win all 3 games no matter what if they needed to. And second off, kind of knew they weren't really playing for much and weren't showing anything. So
I'm going to need a couple more St. Brown catches. Goff's not going to get to 350, man. I really thought he was going to get there, but that Jameson Williams 60-yard run took that out there. I played some big-time SGP stuff centered around Washington -2.5, but I need Goff to hit his alt passing yards.
He could. What's he at?
He's at 180. I thought he was a lot higher than that.
Damn.
And they're still running the ball. Commitment to the run is strong for the Lions.
Yeah, the Baltimore game just seems pointless to bet. Like, I mean, it just would be utterly beyond stunning if we're missing some like obvious way one of these teams could shut the other down.
Yeah.
And so it seems extraordinarily likely to me it's probably a 1-score game in the fourth quarter, and the team that makes some defensive play in the end, which seems like a pretty random guess, is a big favorite to win.
There's something to these rematches between good teams that I think is more signal than noise from the past. I did some of this work a couple off seasons ago, but I had a working theory, which is that Baltimore beat down Buffalo in the game that they played. Baltimore is very likely going to just try to replicate the same game plan, in my opinion, that worked for them the first time around. And Buffalo is going to prepare to stop that. Whereas I think Buffalo comes out with maybe more of a wild game plan than Baltimore's expecting.
Yeah. He's pretty sticky, though, McDermott. But yeah, he does, on like key downs, he has good stuff. But
wow, what a stupid play by the Lions. I mean, I don't know what the flag is here.
I think you're like 10 seconds ahead of me. I'm about to see 1st and 10 get snapped.
Oh, get ready for a real treat.
Wow. I don't know if I hate the play. I mean, it's kind of one of those games. I hate the execution, obviously.
It's holding up. You can't throw that ball. You cannot throw that ball. Like, this is the problem when you run these types of trick plays is the wide receivers, they always get they basically get super horny in these situations. They can't help themselves. They can't. Like, literally, there's no reason to throw that ball to Gibbs. Makes no sense whatsoever. Wow. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really enjoying this right now.
That guy's so good. 0. He's one of the smartest football players I've ever watched.
Oh man, what is?
I mean, I guess they have some players on the roster. It's just crazy. I mean, what weren't like preseason, most people have had this as like a -4, -4.5, like rated team, basically. Probably like, if anything, like closer to 5.
Yeah.
And then really quickly updated. But like, it doesn't look like anybody was meaningfully wrong. The one thing, the offensive line is way outperforming what the personnel should be as a unit. Part of that might be the quarterback. I don't know. I'm trying to think about this because the answer might just be it's random and you can't predict these, but it's one of these things that a lot of people missed, and there was a ton of money to be made if you could have foreseen this. And I don't know what I could have gone differently to have foreseen this.
So listen, you're always adapting to new information when you're betting on sports. There was nobody that was higher than me on Washington for like the first 8-9 weeks of the season. Once I was able to identify Daniels as the real thing. But then Daniels got hurt a little bit mid-season.
Yeah.
And the offense kind of sputtered. And I kind of got off that bandwagon and was just concerned about them moving forwards. In hindsight, pretty big mistake. But he is a baller of a quarterback. Like he's the best quarterback in the NFC. I don't think there's even a question at this point.
Yeah. Probably.
Right? Yeah. The homer in me might say a healthy Dak would be up there. I think some people might make arguments for Stafford. I love this comment here, by the way. We know Jameson is a gambler. This game feels very much over. I know there's 12 minutes left. Famous last words. This game very much feels over to me.
45 would be hard for Detroit to score.
So Patrick says winning turnovers 4-0 isn't going to put the narrative that Washington is running way above expectation to bed. I believe that those narratives this week, though, were centered around their like late down conversions. I believe most of the talk this week about Washington being lucky was 3rd and 4th downs. I think there's a little bit more stickiness to that with certain quarterbacks as well. Because if you looked at Patrick Mahomes' career in 3rd and long, you would probably say, well, he's performing well above expectation, but he consistently does it. And I'm not saying Daniels is Mahomes, but I think that there's a little bit of stickiness to certain situations.
Yeah. I don't think they're a scam. I mean, they have some good players.
Yep. So also yesterday in Toronto, we had like a mini Ohtani situation. Not quite the same. Do you know anything
With
about
Sasaki.
Roki Sasaki?
Yeah, that's been programmed for like 18 months.
Okay.
That was never really in doubt. Yeah.
Okay. I assume that was it's just fans get excited. They hear their team in the mix.
Was that last year or the year before, the World Baseball Classic, when they all played together? Must have been 2 years ago because Ohtani pitched in that. So yeah, 18 months. It's been longer. Yeah.
Jason was I could see him getting real excited.
No. Just first of all, the Blue Jays are just like, I swear they're just doing this stuff for PR. Like they make that trade yesterday to try and like make it seem like they have a chance at Roki. So like, I feel like they just do it to save their bacon, and like Atkins, like it's a football stream. I don't want to get into it.
I see somebody named PK called me out for my San Risto opinion. Go watch the what's the guy's name? Connor Stalions documentary. He was like the main, by far, brains of the entire operation of all the sign stealing. He did everything. I mean, he cracked like half the codes himself. But just watch any of the Michigan games. He was very clearly like the brain of everything they did last year.
It is in the nature of the nails to call people out. It's what we do. We do it as a network with the content creators, and we do it with the audience as well. Dodgers or the field to win the World Series? I don't know what the odds are, but I would just assume you have to take the field.
Yeah, easily,
yeah.
I don't have numbers done until the first week of March, but yeah.
Yeah, you're taking the field on that every single time. Every single time. All right. 2nd and 12 incoming.
They will probably be testing limits though. Again, I haven't even like attempted to do numbers, but they're probably going to be pushing the limit of like how good a team can be right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough whenever you get an outlier team like that. I got to a point this year, a couple points, one with the Carolina Panthers and one with the Giants, where I would run numbers and I'd be like, this has to be wrong. Something, and then I would dig deep. I'm like,
you were too high or too low?
Too low. Market would move that way though.
Against market was pretty pro Carolina for like 8 weeks to start.
No, there
they
was
didn't capitulate until you go ahead.
There was a few games I could remember where I'm like some of my biggest bets this year were against Carolina. I have to look at the schedule now.
Same, but I didn't get CLV on one of them until at Denver, which it was the right side, but honestly, it was more of a sweat than I thought it would be, and that's when Young looked confident for the first time.
Very interesting that
so that was the first game the market like capitulated.
Commies are going.
It's weird. It's those like dog shit teams. Rarely like it happened in baseball this year too. I got horrendous negative CLV shoved in my face every single game, fading the White Sox for 2 months. Especially Crochet starts, and then like hard.
Yeah.
And like it takes a lot for me to get negative CLV. And then completely 180 basically once Crochet started having like the 4 inning starts, and complete the other way. Everything bombed like 50 cents for the entire rest of the year from like August on, or All-Star break on.
Yeah. Tough day to be a take the points Stan, real tough night to be a take the points guy. Oh, is that McNichols? Oh, I didn't bet McNichols. God damn McNichols. Oh, why did I? Now I'm in pain. Now I'm in actual serious pain. Now I'm in pain. There was like some rogue numbers on McNichols at post.
It's a pretty impressive touchdown. I kind of like that guy.
I love McNichols.
That wasn't well blocked at all.
He cashed a big bet for me earlier in the year. I love McNichols, but I'm like, what are the chances? If McNichols is seeing snaps in this game, it's probably not a good thing. Like, oh, that's tough. The Panthers, I think it was at Washington. I'm pretty sure Daniels got hurt in that game and ended up being Mariota. Early. Yeah, that was a big one for me. The defense was in shambles for Carolina at that point. Like a train wreck. Yeah, Denver was another. That was the one. Denver was another one too, where it was like
that was the Andy Dalton car crash game. But that one bombed our way. That one we got big CLV.
We got it, but like so many people that week. That was the week where I'm like, I know I still have an edge betting the NFL, because people were like, how could the Broncos possibly be favored by like a touchdown again? Like, has anyone seen what the Panthers are rolling out on defense? It is so bad. Like,
I think my sentence I said about that on all the calls and everything was Carolina cannot physically score more than 14, right, and Denver cannot physically score less than 28. And I think it landed 28-14. So I'm going to go double check. But there was a concession at the end. But I forgot. I think their first touchdown might have been after a fumble too.
It was so. I'm pretty sure that the Panthers went down the field on the first drive and went up 7-0 in that game.
I think after a fumble, yeah.
Justin says get Kanish on now. That's not going to happen. Kanish is in a coma. Like, I hope Kanish is still sober after tonight. I honestly wish the best for that guy after cleaning himself up a little bit, but I don't know that that's going to be the case at this point. This is going to be a tough one for Lions fans to swallow. I got so many DMs this week from Lions fans. They're like, you keep talking about their defense like it's bad, like they're doing this and that. I'm like, it's bad. It's bad.
Yeah. It was kind of easy to have this opinion beforehand. Obviously I would have hammered the field if I felt crazy strong about this, but like it does look close to biologically impossible for them to have won the Super Bowl anyways. So like, why have the heartbreak? They could have gotten there and lost, but I don't know how they could have won.
You just, I don't want to say it's inevitable. Like this is very much a hindsight bias here. And listen, I didn't bet a large opinion on Washington in this game, but it did feel inevitable that they were going to have a game like this where they have to play perfect offense because their defense can't stop anything. And we got that game. Matthew Ebel says, Pizzola, if you didn't go bowling, how much Trump coin would you have bought? That's a good question. I'm usually a pussy when it comes to this stuff, so I want to get that out there. But I would not have been able to resist the FOMO that was been happening in real time. And I didn't see messages from friends of mine. I probably would have taken, honestly, I probably would have dumped like 10K into it, 10, 20K, something like that. That's just a rough estimate, just for the shits. But I woke up to a couple hundred afterwards. Christ. Should we look an Eagles NFC at plus 100? No, I don't think so.
What are they DVIG right now this week? Or like, I guess the better question is, what's the best price for their money line right now?
I'll tell you in 1 second. That's that pro.
And then they'll be like 6.5-ish again next week, probably.
Yeah, that's same line, I think. Very similar to the. So best price is -6, -110. Best money line's -286 right now. True line is probably close to 266, roughly that. If I'm devigging, convert.
I mean, well, there's two questions. Is that plus EV? And then number two, if you're not going to care about my opinion on whether it's a good bet or not, is it better to bet plus 100 than roll over the money lines? It seems like it's probably better to bet plus 100, to be honest.
I agree.
Although for me, I'm so unbelievably bullish this week. I would just be completely max levered long for optimism and then flip if tomorrow doesn't or Monday doesn't go as we think. So that would probably overcome your 20 cents.
Roughly, just doing some quick multiplication, I think the Eagles, based off of this week's money line and then what I'd expect the money line to be next week, are roughly 52% to win the NFC. So I think plus 100 might be slightly good.
Yeah. You might have 5% ROI. You're going to, just lever Solana for the next 7 days.
Until Trump comes in office. I'm yeah. Someone asked me for a BTC address today. I'm like, yeah, you're going to have to wait about a week or so. It reached a settle limit.
I wouldn't. Everything like Polymarket, everything is like over 70%. I think over like 70% now for SBR. And it seems like everything's trending towards like a minimum of day one, just announcing that they're holding the Silk Road coins at like that would be a bad outcome.
Mm.
And I think everything with the Fed is like max pricing and hawkishness. It seems very likely there will just be no change the week after. I think everything's going to rip.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like underexposed right now.
I've been underexposed for years. What are you going to do? Mistakes are made.
Fix it.
I guess.
Yeah.
I'm a new person, Barry Horse. I no longer have aspirations to be extremely wealthy. I wonder if Joe A will be a new person next year. The Commanders not only traded away a good starting quarterback in Howell, but then passed on an elite quarterback, Drake May, to draft a bad quarterback, Daniels, compounding lost opportunities. Bookmark this tweet. I want to revisit it again in 8 months again. I mean, it's bookmarked, Joe. It is bookmarked.
Who is this guy? Is
8 months later.
Just like a Twitter guy?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to retweet that right now, honestly. I think it's gotta happen. This is too good. It is actually one of the most incredibly bad takes of all time. Incredibly bad. He deserves a retweet for sure. Yeah. No. Yeah, you could post that in the chat if you guys want to let Joe know what you think. That's what we do here at Forward Progress. We find bad takes.
I will say good for him not deleting it at least.
Yep. Yeah. That's up there with Simon Hunter betting the Vikings to be the last winless team
for this NFL season.
Yeah. All right. 4th down coming up. This is most certainly the game at this point. Oh, this is a pro move, by the way. You really want to stir it up, you tag the fan accounts of the other team. That's a great look. I don't like the arrogance on Joe A. It's a good thing you haven't come across him, Barry. You would be.
Should I know who he is?
He's just a random nobody. He likes every white quarterback, dislikes every dark-skinned quarterback. One of those.
It's actually not. It's not even a meme. Like it's actually like he released his top 10 quarterbacks and they were all white. It's like, what are you like?
Yeah,
Mahomes isn't on it.
No.
He does not believe Mahomes is.
He has Will Levis as like 4th.
He loves Will Levis. He loves Will Levis.
It's like okay, like sure, like I don't know.
I got to tell you. Yeah. I wasn't too fond of them kicking. I know it doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah.
But if you kick a field goal here, you have to assume that you're going to get stops on the next 2 drives, no matter what. Like Washington can't. I think that was a bad move. Honestly, really unusual. Mitch wants you to clarify. By the way, this is not financial advice here on Forward Progress. Not financial advice. Merely the opinions of some of our guests and myself.
Okay, well, my opinion is that from, I think it was December 18th FOMC meeting, everything that led to the trading of the last 2-3 weeks was just Max reacting, pricing uncertainty around that, Bank of America's expectations of no rate cuts this year, everything like basically setting what I view as a floor before we have the, like, not even like pro Bitcoin and crypto is probably an understatement of the administration coming in. So like, I just see way too many people calling the inauguration a sell the news event. You can see in funding, like go pull up Bitcoin open interest right now. Like we're at like $6 billion under open interest from when we were at these levels 5 weeks ago. Like I think a lot of people are wiped out and sidelined as it's going to get. It's really easy to do the math on who's willing to sell, right? Like it's very clear what the supply side is. And so, yeah, I'd expect a big increase in demand this week. If there's not even one mention of anything with the SPR or anything on Monday, yeah, that could easily be a sell the news event. And then I'd be buying all those liquidations. But, for the course of the year, it's hard for me to have max conviction on what the next like 3 to 4 months exactly will look like. Mm-hmm. There's lots of dollar strengthening things that might happen as negotiations with the tariffs, or I have severe doubts about what actually can get done with this Department of Government Efficiency, but some of these things could really strengthen the dollar. But one thing I'm max certain of is any dollar strengthening that would happen would be like immediately offset with incredible weakening and just a massive liquidity injection. And it's very obvious the guy and the whole family cares about the price of Bitcoin and uses that as like a metric for all of this. So yeah, I mean, everyone told me end of fall last, like 2023 fall, like the ETFs are already priced in. You can't be long in here at the tops in this breakout. Like it's already priced in. You're going to get full pullback. We go straight from 30 to 75K. It was certainly not priced in. The most obvious trade ever with Trump, like everybody telling me it's already priced in 77K. No, it's not. It's going straight to 108. And I believe it's probably the same thing for most of this year.
All right. There you go. Not financial advice, I must reiterate, but an opinion of someone who's done fairly successful things in the
space. Yeah.
Oh, man. Can't believe, it's funny. You joined at the beginning of this quarter. It was 31-28. Like, we got 5 minutes left in the game. And these
are the games I bet. I don't bet good games. I only bet dog shit games.
Yeah.
Edges are.
Well, I mean, honestly, there might be some sort of signal around Moretto booking you as a guest and playing some alt lines in those games. I think I'm going to make my way out to Sloan this year.
Nice.
Yeah. Haven't been in a while. Just want to see what's going on.
I think I'm lecturing a class there in April.
Are you?
Yeah, I might. Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah. I don't know how they came up with that. But
don't let people know about that, especially if they're paying you, because then they might accuse you of not being a true professional bettor. If you do something outside of ecosystem,
Oh, I'm not getting paid. Yeah.
No, there you go. Geriatric Ertz made a play. I was really surprised.
He made another one by the goal line earlier.
Yeah.
Honestly, he looked kind of fine today.
Man, Daniels played so good today. So good.
Yeah.
He got
they play very hard, but like they don't have that many big, strong, or fast football players. Like, it doesn't look right whatsoever. Like, just looking at them. I know it sounds really stupid, but like compared to Philly, which is just like, the
Philly's a bunch of bruisers. Yeah,
you don't have to know anything. Like, just look at the people getting off the bus. Everybody with a pulse would know how good they're going to be.
Yeah. Washington timeout. Extend the game a little bit more naturally. Aaron Glenn still going to get head coaching looks?
I mean, I don't know really what he's supposed to do. Like, the start of the second half was somewhat impressive. They've played in practice to a certain mentality all game. Obviously, it's a grotesque outcome. They just don't have a lot of NFL players. Even I could be convinced Robertson mattered a lot from the first quarter too.
100% he did. 100%. They lost the starting corner. They were already, they're down Carlton Davis. That 100% made an it. We were live betting based off of that. Oh, Ertzy. Let's go. Oh, it's not even Ertz. It's Bates. Never mind. I knew that guy had too much jump for it to be Ertz. I was like, wow, he went up and got that. Bates. I want to look at Washington's success rates for today. They got to be through the fucking roof, man. What a clinic.
There's just not a lot of NFL players on the field right now for Detroit.
0.52 EPA per play. Yeah, there we go. Jason's got up on screen. Jason, can you make that a little bit bigger? Just because I'm blind. All right. Daniels up to the top there. Look at Daniels' EPA. 19.7 EPA. 95th percentile game. Holy fuck. That is a nice one. 89.7 series conversion rate. Yep. The Lions had a good offensive performance. They just turned the ball over. And you're not going to win losing the turnover battle 4-0.
Did you bet anything tomorrow?
No. Nothing. I'm a little, I'll be honest with you, a little bit gun shy because I had a pretty rough week last week. And I had a pretty good season. And I did kind of force some stuff last week that I might not have played had it been regular season, but just got a little bit excited. And so, yeah, I'm just, that's where I'm at.
Don't fuck it up mode. Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, like I put a lot of work into the season. So that's a good way to put it. I'm in don't fuck it up mode. Yes, exactly.
Same.
You know? One more third down conversion here. Be close to sealing it. 4th and 1 short.
I know you guys mentioned the Eagles and what you would think they would be priced at, but like, let's say the Rams win next week. What do you like? How do you guys like price out that game?
The Rams are home.
Rams would be the home team.
2-ish.
-1.5 Rams.
Yeah, 1.5.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't give the Rams much home field advantage, but it did pick up late in the year. They had some standalone games, at least one, where it was quite loud. I'm trying to remember which game that was.
Maybe Arizona. Saturday night game.
Yeah, that was the one. Let me actually, I'm just going to really quickly, I don't have a great way to,
then if I assume that'd be like over 90%, but I guess we should consider there's some non-zero chance they play in Arizona again. I don't know what the air quality is right now.
True.
But yeah, pickish.
Yeah.
Washington -05, something like that.
Going into this week, I would have made the Rams -1.1 home to Washington.
Do you do four straight road games is super rare? Are you doing anything for that? And maybe, I don't know, maybe the Dallas game doesn't count. I don't know how hard they try, but
so that's automated. I would actually have to look into that and see what situations I'm incorporating there. Oh, he missed the field goal. That's why you don't take the points. No, I think actually that was the right move, honestly. I mean, this is over, right? Like, I shouldn't feel uneasy about
if you like 82.5 was the listed total for a long time. So
I mean, if 14 with 2.5 minutes left was ever going to be blown, it would be a game exactly like this. But
yeah,
I think you're fine. Excuse me.
Can Goff get us 90 yards? No, not possible. Damn. Well, maybe he can. If he keeps eating sacks and goes all the way back to the 10, we would have some hope.
Is that the only thing you need?
Yeah. I tied Washington. SGPs, I tied. I did play some smaller stuff for 300 plus, so 30 would be okay, but I really wanted the 350 plus would have cashed a lot of stuff. Oh, well, you know what? You take shots. Not going to win them all, especially at those price ranges. Good looks, though. Can't complain about that. Andy V says he needs one more yard from St. Brown. Okay, so pregame bets, we cash St. Brown over receptions. That hit. Gibbs under lost. They'll never do that again.
What was the price for reception? Gibbs is insane. Gibbs might be the best player in the league.
He's so good. I played St. Brown over 6.5 -105.
Okay.
We played Austin Eckler under rush plus receiving. That lost. Played. Let me see what else I had pregame. Jared Goff, 23.5 completions. God, Goff's not going to hit that. And he's thrown a bunch in this game too. That's going to be a loss. From Pizza Buffet, Brian Robinson under 1.5 receptions. He did not catch one today. I got roasted for that pick by some jackass, so I'm glad that that one's going to hit. De'Ami Brown overs from early in the week. Those are there. Yeah, well, not bad. Basically, when what's his name got hurt for Detroit in the first quarter.
Robertson.
Yeah, we played a bunch of De'Ami Brown stuff in real time.
Gotcha.
With the theory that Branch is going to stay in the slot on Zacchaeus, which is exactly what happened. Brown ended up playing a lot of one-on-one with Kindle Vildor. And see you later. What are they stopping us for?
Those guys aren't bad. Brown and Zacchaeus, even and like Noah Brown was probably better than both. They might have had better weapons than I kind of thought before the year. I don't know. It just doesn't scream like dynamic top 5 offense. Looking at it, if you're just like pulling the depth chart up.
Kyle said, this bet's going to hit. I got roasted for that one by some jackass, so I'm glad that one's going to hit. Can't express how much I relate to this comment. It does feel good. Honestly, it feels much better when you give out a play and there's always some guy arguing against you as to like why it's a bad play. Love that. Love that. Oh, man. Man, I missed so many Telegram and WhatsApp messages during this game today. Paying full attention.
Like time sensitive stuff?
I don't know. I'm going to read through it all afterwards.
Oh, you just mean on the app. I was like the big red. Oh, yeah.
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 Yeah. Oh, we actually need, it depends on the number you played. Because I actually played 23.5 at like plus 100-ish instead of 22.5, whatever it was, minus 130. So I need 5 completions, which seems very unlikely. I mean, it could happen. It would be nice. It would be nice, but you going to join for the Super Bowl prop show this year?
Yeah, sure. We'll see. Probably gonna do like a bunch of travel the next 3 weeks, but yeah, I'm sure we can make it work.
Where are you headed if you want to share?
South and Central America, probably Palm Springs.
Nice.
California. Argentina, Colombia.
Banging.
I love Colombia. Colombia is sick. Highly recommend if anybody's never been.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do post Super Bowl. I'm probably just going to end up in Mexico. I haven't planned anything, and then last minute it's going to be make a call. And I'm a big fan of Mexico personally.
Same.
Fourth
we'll
down.
Probably go there for a week too. Where do you go?
It depends, honestly, on what type of trip we want to do. So possibly Cabo. If not, it'll be like Riviera Maya area and some sort of all-inclusive. I am very partial to all-inclusive because I just don't like to have to worry about anything, honestly. There's something that is nice about just having to carry around some cash for tips and like that's it.
Yeah.
Leave the resort a couple times, do some snorkeling, stuff like that. Oh. Next year after the Super Bowl, probably going to hit up Turkey, get the hairline fixed.
Really?
I think so, yeah.
Those videos look sick. You should do the whole like full-blown, like full body check health scan Have you ever seen the videos of those?
I have not, but it sounds
Dude,
incredible.
for some like crazy affordable rate, they treat you like a NBA draft prospect where they measure you on like every scan. It's a whole day thing. Like you wake up and go at 7 a.m. and you're probably there till like 7 p.m. But they check like literally every possible health thing there is to check for like the 5-star crazy level of like service and I guess exam, whatever the word would be. Yeah, I think that might be. Yeah, dude, that's literally the exact thing I'm talking about. Watch that video. I think it's this one.
I flew to
Doing this in
Turkey
the
for
US
one
would
day.
have
I'm pretty sure it's
thousands
Turkey.
and taken
Yeah.
months to line up, but in one
All
day,
right,
you'll
I'm gonna
leave
give
it
this
all.
a watch
Scans,
afterwards.
tests,
Fortune
Yeah.
magazine.
It looks sick. I haven't done it. Like I can't recommend it from experience, but that video looks cool.
I mean, St. Brown could have caught that. Goff's not going to get there unless St. Brown catches these passes. We're getting close. Getting close. Before this game is done, so might not have much time left. Monday night, Notre Dame, Ohio State.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that, to be fast, the thing I'd have most conviction in is Notre Dame not scoring. I would probably prefer isolating it to that in case Chip Kelly is idiotic again like last week. But
Right.
the funnel of Ohio State leading at halftime, if they wanted, should allow them to extend the lead. But they haven't really played that way. I mean, Ryan Day really has never been great at pedal to the middle on these, but depends on price. But yeah, I barely lean Ohio State. Probably I haven't bet anything material on it.
One more completion for Goff and we cash. Dallas has allowed the longest NFC championship drought. Doesn't surprise me.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Appearing in the game or in the Super, or winning it and being in the Super?
Appearing in the NFC championship. Hasn't happened since '96. Every single time they've gotten a bye, they ended up
When was
losing.
Washington in it?
Oh, it'll happen right now. When Washington wins this year.
That's why this is true. Oh,
correct.
Oh,
correct.
Okay. Yeah.
Washington had previously been the longest.
Understood. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Damn.
Fuck me, man.
Yeah, because Carolina was in the Super Bowl.
Hmm.
That's crazy. They were in 2, actually.
Trump getting listed on Coinbase and Binance.
I mean, Binance had perps this morning. That was crazy. Funding rate was, I can't do the math for annualizing it, but funding rate was like 0.4% every 8 hours within like an hour of going on. It's already, I mean, I'll check. It was like 4th in volume on perps this morning.
Goff threw a pick.
Yeah, it's 7.13 billion in volume, 4th on perps, man. Bitcoin's still on Ethereum.
I could have done one more completion before that interception. That would have been better. Oh, well. 5 turnovers for the Lions. They told me Goff was one of the best. That's what they told me.
Real quick, blink test. If this game was played again next week, same everything, what would you think the price would be? I mean, not that Robertson's worth like 3 points, but I guess price it if he didn't get hurt. Like, how random do you think this game was?
Somewhat random because Detroit averaged 7.7 yards per play. You saw the success rate numbers. It still would come down because Washington's offense performed a lot better than I think. 7.5.
Yeah. Maybe 7.5 juice dog.
Yeah. All right, Barry Horse. Enjoy the traveling. Enjoy North America. Thank you for stopping in. All right, Barry Horse, everyone. Judah, back-to-back alt lines.
Just when we stopped giving out the best bets, right? Like,
well, you know what?
Well, he talked about it though. Still,
of course, but Fez has been roasting him about the alt lines back-to-back. Nailed them.
What are you gonna do?
That was a banger for him. Yeah, I actually know some of the alt lines he played.
Suma also mentioned that as well. Looking at it from SGP angles to do that. So
I mean, Fez is still messaging me right now. It's happening. He's like still going over the punts bet and this and that. How much I don't even know what he's talking about, man. I don't even know what this message is.
He was talking about the puns bet, and like it's like people could only get down like $12 on that. Like it's like how much are you allowed to bet on that? Like, but whatever.
I don't know what he's saying to me. I'm actually going to respond. I don't know what you are saying to me. That's my first. I was going to just let him keep typing, but yeah, anyways.
You know what? Tell him you got a new number and give him my number.
Oh my God.
And see how long we can come up.
I'm going to give him Clive's number.
That'd be good too. Anyways.
That'd be hysterical. Hysterical. All right, people. I think hopefully, I think we should have done well overall as a group tonight. Wasn't the best from pregame props. In-game, I think more than made up for that. I think overall a pretty solid night. Would have liked if Goff could have got there. 313. We had the right looks. I got a little bit too greedy on the 350 plus, but it is what it is. Appreciate everyone tuning in. If you can, and you haven't already, smash that like button, hit that thumbs up down below. Sub here on Forward Progress. It is a point of pride for me to try to get the subscriber count up. So if you're not subbed yet, please do so. And if you enjoy watching these, please spread the word. Tell other people about them. Let's grow the audience as much as we possibly can. I am back here tomorrow for the late game. Planning to go live around 6:15 Eastern. The video is already scheduled. Bills, Ravens. You can join me here right before the game. I'll recap Rams, Eagles. If you're looking for my thoughts on those games, you can watch the pizza buffet. I recorded it earlier today. It's right here on Forward Progress. You can skip ahead midway through that video, and you can get my breakdowns for Rams, Eagles, Bills, Ravens as well. Thank you to all our guests tonight. Appreciate everyone who was able to tune in. This has been another Saturday Night Football live watch along right here on Forward Progress, presented by FanDuel. Peace out, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your evening. See you tomorrow.